I love
NAT
it.
happens when chaos takes the stage. Cringe and drama, laughter, rage. Roll initiative and brace your mind for the horror stories players leave behind.
I love that intro. Good job, Alex.
This is for horror stories, though.
It is,
Call of
but it fits.
Cthulhu, a little bit horror also.
Yeah,
in
it fits.
Ancient.
So, welcome to our Call of Cthulhu game. We have some special guests here today, EJ and Lauren, to EJ to run the game and Lauren to hopefully survive the game. Please go ahead and introduce yourselves. Tell us a little about yourselves.
Lauren, would you like to go first?
Sure. My name's Lauren. I run D&D and other TTRPGs with the RPG Club. I've been in the space for a couple of years now, and it's like the best thing that's ever happened to me. And yeah, I love it. So I'm really excited to play this game and see how it goes.
And I'm EJ. I have been running Call of Cthulhu and other RPGs like D&D for close to 10 years now. Oh, I think it's over 10 now. Yep, looking at my calendar, it is. So excited to be back and to run Call of Cthulhu. It is one of my favorites. My favorite always shifts, but this is one of my favorites. And so my title here is Keeper today. Keeper of Arcane Lore, or just EJ's fine.
So, Alex, why don't you tell us who you're playing today? Tell us a little bit about your character.
His name is Tadeusz Nowak. He's an author from Warsaw, Poland, immigrated to United States in order to escape from communism.
I gotta say, your accent is very realistic.
I've worked with it. Yes. Yes. Spent a lot of time. I can't leave the character, though, because otherwise it is not going to be methodological acting. So yeah.
Lauren, who are you playing today?
I am playing Little Miss Lottie Mae Clark. She is a dilettante occupation, if I'm saying that right. Basically, a rich person with too much time on her hands and likes to dally in all sorts of things. She's become particularly fascinated with the occult. And she is the secretary, self-appointed most likely, of the esteemed author.
Yeah. And I'll be playing Stan Pulaski, from Poland. That must be how I met Tadeusz. And I am his driver and bodyguard, and trying to keep him safe as he is poking his nose into places it probably doesn't belong.
We'll see.
EJ,
see
feel free to proceed to try to kill us now.
Excellent. Okay. Well, the year is 1925, and we are in the northern United States. It is 1925, and in 1925, of course, there's plenty of things going on, which most of them will not come into play here today, but things that might come to mind for any of us or any of the viewers. The Great War has ended. And we are in the recovery period after that time. Lots of interaction happening between the United States and other nations. And there's, in the United States specifically, the Prohibition Act has been enforced or begun to take hold. And so there's no alcohol. So people are beginning to go into speakeasies down beneath bars, and trying to find their way to get alcohol that way. And there's just a lot of excitement and a lot of uncertainty. This is the birth, or maybe the popularization of much psychology. But this is also the time that H.P. Lovecraft wrote most of his works. And so we find in in Call of Cthulhu, the game, a lot of dark motifs, dark ideas, and the realization that humans are very small indeed. So we begin in 1925 in the summer months in Vermont, and we begin with a memory. You can recall, all of you, the three of you being together, you can recall being in Vermont and looking around for some sort of new story that might guide you in your direction as the author and the bodyguard, the driver, and the secretary to write some of those things down, some of those details. And you can recall being at a cafe looking for your next lead when you could hear the buzzing streets of Bennington. They were talking with great gossip about the gunfight that occurred last night on the edge of the forest. There's talk of police cars and sirens, shotgun blasts, and escaped kidnappers. The locals are saying that 3 gangsters were killed and 2 police officers were shot. Some say wounded, while others say they've actually succumbed to death. Posters are going up across town saying that the sheriff is organizing a manhunt to find Lucas Strong's missing daughter and catch the escaped gangsters. Everyone in town is invited to the meeting at the police station. Rumor has it that Mr. Strong has announced a $5,000 reward for the safe return of his daughter and is willing to pay for anyone who can aid in her rescue. A quick inflation calculator will tell you that $5,000 is essentially equivalent to $100,000 US in today's time. Just so you're aware of what that.
Wow.
1 year or more salary, depending on, your level of income. For an author, perhaps more.
Stanislav, have you ever seen this kind of money?
No.
I cannot imagine it.
That would pay for so many book tours.
Yeah, and gas for the car.
And gas for the car. I can settle in for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
No more books.
Wait,
no more
No
books
more
for me.
books. No, there
more
has to be
books.
books.
Yes.
No, you have to write books.
you have to write
Who will
books.
need to? Who will need?
Wait, we're all
those
counting
books?
on you.
Who will need to write books if I have $100,000?
Can I still drive you around if you're not writing books?
What if you just dictate the books and I'll write them for you? I can edit them. Far less time. Just don't stop writing books.
Shit. Okay.
From the cafe, we fast forward to the next morning. It's 10 a.m., and you're standing at the briefing at the police station with Sheriff Jenkins at the fore of the room. He's explaining the situation to what's happened, at least as far as they're aware. Apparently, as he goes on, Sidney Harris and his gang have kidnapped Jane Strong, daughter of Lucas Strong. Harris, a known criminal now, has demanded a ransom of $10,000 for Jane's return, and a handover was arranged last night at the edge of town. Unfortunately, though all things were going smoothly for a while, Harris and his men got twitchy, and lead started flying. Chaos ensued. Both sides shot it out. They shot 2 police officers. We're pretty sure we hit a few of them. One of his men got away, and Harris himself, of course, got away with the ransom money. Now, Jane was never brought to the scene. She was going to be released after the exchange. And not a wise idea in my estimation, but so it is, and so it is now. 2 of them got away. They have Jane. They have the money. And now we fear they are not going to come through on their end of the bargain. So they fled back into the forest, and they're believed to be holding Jane in a cabin in the woods somewhere out there. Lucas, he looks across the room to a very well-dressed individual in a suit, pocket watch made out of gold, a top hat on, and he steps forward. This is Lucas Strong, and he has personally offered $25 to anyone in attendance today who joins the hunt for his missing daughter. You can see the rich man, he nods, and you can see his profound mustache as he says, That's right. $25 to anyone who's going to aid in the recapture of my daughter. She is the world to me. You must know. The police commissioner continues on, and closing up most of the briefing today, he says, "It is the law that they will be brought back alive." But you can see Lucas Strong fidget at this, and he bursts out, "I will pay for the dead body too." And the commissioner sort of taps him down and says, "It is the law to bring him back alive. And I reiterate that you might be able to see his likeness in the posters around town. And we look forward to finding her and bringing her back safe and sound with the help of all of you fine citizens. If you'll meet me out in the courtyard in just a moment, we'll split you off into groups." He leaves the room.
Hey, boss, should we go? This could be a great story.
Yeah, how many people are there? How many people were listening to this?
About 20
briefing?
citizens and about 15 sheriff and police.
Yeah, we have a big competition.
Yeah, but you're a genius.
Me? Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah, right. Okay, Lotte, are you with us?
Oh, absolutely. I go where you go. Remember? That's how this whole secretary thing works. Did the officer leave the room or just the
Well,
dad?
you look for him, and you can see that he moved to the back of the room and seems to be willing to address any questions. Most of the people are like whispering to themselves right now. He's giving time for it to settle in, you think. But if you'd like to ask a question either privately or publicly, he's available.
Okay.
Let's ask privately. We don't want to give away anything to the rest of these rubes.
Let's be very
Of
quiet.
course.
We have to find that cabin first.
Yes. We'll get the story first, and we'll get the money first.
I'm not splitting one time this amount with the 35 people.
No. You
All
leave
for
that
me.
to me. I'll make sure that they stay behind us the whole time.
All right, sir. Sir Sergeant. Let's go to him.
Okay. Yeah, we go to him privately. And I kind of stand behind them so I can hear, but they're like my back is to them so that I'm kind of like crossing my arms and just kind of giving everybody the stink eye who tries to come near.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Good. So you stand with your back to the commissioner and your friends or your companions as they talk and ask a few questions. Commissioner has pulled out a cigarette, and he offers each of you one as you approach. He lights it up in the room and begins to smoke, saying, "Further questions, then? What can I assist you with?"
Lottie will take a step closer and say, "So, I need you to tell me the extra information, the things that you can't say from the front of the room, but are actually willing to say at the back of the room. You know what I'm talking about. The weird stuff. The stuff that has you wondering, but you can't say because it's your job. You know, that stuff."
He takes a long draw on his cigarette and holds the smoke in for a while. "Well, I'm afraid I'm not too familiar with these weird things you're talking about. You're not talking about the folk tales, I imagine. You seem like you're bright, intelligent young lady."
They aren't mutually exclusive, you have to understand.
Mm-hmm. Well, he taps his cigarette case almost out of just fidgeting. There's ghost stories, I guess, about this forest here.
Yeah, those.
Forest. I see. Well, forest was, in times past, the last bastion and hiding place for those who defected from the Union Army in the Civil War, trying to make it all the way to Canada and get out of here. And so there are plenty of small little cabins built in the forest. Part of what makes us so difficult finding Jane is all these Union Army men. They built small ramshackles in order to stay and survive, especially through the winter, long enough to make it across the border. So ghost stories abound in a place like this. A few villages here and there, a few towns. All of them have their stories of people in Civil War uniforms walking through like ancient ghosts or zombies.
I see. So there's lots of cabins then.
Well, some cabins, yes. I don't know how many, but I mean, I've been in the forest a number of times, and yeah, you always see one on the horizon at some point or another. It's always a surprise, I guess, seeing them. They never really expect to see them, and maybe that's the way they intended it, so they keep themselves hidden.
Did you receive any message from?
You mean like a ransom note?
Something like that.
Yes, that we did. We let me see if I can find it somewhere around here. He whistles over to another officer who he speaks to for a moment. They run off and bring back a paper. The paper is relatively simple. It says it's signed by Sydney Harris, and it says to Lucas Strong and Company. It says, we have collected Jane Strong. We are asking for a ransom of $10,000. Meet us on the edge of town at the river bank or the lakeside for the exchange. That's pretty much it.
Would Lottie think that there is anything other than rich guy's daughter to get a ransom that made her a target? Would she know anything, like in terms of society or where Jane is from, or another reason why they would take her?
Mm-hmm. Certainly. You recognize that you recognize the name Lucas Strong. He is a very wealthy individual who's gotten a lot of his money through banking. Big industry at this time, especially for like private investors. So he's gotten a lot of his money through banking. Jane is about 16 years old, so she's still a child by minority standards. And let me think if there's anything else you might know about either of them. Do you have any further like leading question for me?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Just wondering if there was any additional piece of information we would know or suspect that would even help us track her or something like that. Yeah.
Let's say in the you've been keeping up with the newspapers because that's part of your livelihood is being able to find a story when it breaks. Lucas Strong is a banker, and he's in part responsible for there's a giant reservoir that's being built around here. And so he is one of the main investors or funders for that reservoir. You also saw a little snippet in the newspaper that said something related to precious metals, that it was thought precious metals were discovered in the lake and the surrounding region. And Lucas Strong, Mr. Strong, dispatched several teams to ensure that the precious metals did not get into the water stream.
Stan kind of looks over his shoulder and says, "Do we know where she was taken from?"
The sergeant says, "Well, yes, as a matter of fact, we do. She was taken from the. Let me make sure I got this correct. She was taken from their home, which is just in town. One of these past evenings, Mr. Strong was having a meeting with other investors and out to dine, and his daughter was left out at home to fend for herself. Listening to the radio, she didn't hear the break-in, and then she was captured."
I assume they have servants. None of them heard anything.
That's right. They do. And nobody was. One of the servants was bruised across the face. Took a hit to the head. But the others, yes, they were indisposed. It seems.
I think we gotta talk to this servant.
I think so.
He seems to be the last person who saw this
Yeah.
little girl.
Mm-hmm.
Did they
Yeah,
appear
he
to
must.
leave by car?
It is assumed so. There's no real tire tracks. The rain was here that day, but it is assumed, and the servant corroborated this evidence that they did leave by car rather than by foot.
Did they leave the same way from the ransom meeting?
No, on that night they left by foot. Seemed to have arrived by foot also.
So that was our last sighting of them then.
Of the kidnappers, yes. Of the girl, no.
But we would expect that the kidnappers are going to the same location as the girl? Or not necessarily?
Yes. We would have no reason to think otherwise, unless they decided to cut their losses, given that they already received the ransom money and just want to leave her for dead. That is certainly a possibility, and in fact, our greatest fear.
How long was it from the time they kidnapped her until the ransom note?
Not long. It was about 4 days.
You can get pretty far in a car in 4 days. How long between them setting up the meeting for the ransom and the actual meeting?
It
So
was
the meeting what had happened?
Yeah, because they got the ransom, and that's when they had the shootout with the police and killed a couple coppers.
But Jane wasn't there.
But Jane
So
wasn't there.
We're trying to figure out timeline of all that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if we can figure out like some kind of circle of how far they could have gotten if they came by foot to the ransom and they called like an hour before. They were pretty close.
about 3 days.
I don't know about the dimensions in United States, but in Poland, in 4 days, you can actually leave the country on a car.
In Vermont, it's the same. You can definitely leave the state walking in 4 days and
It is
probably leave
pretty
the country.
big distance.
Yeah, you're just across the, the St. Lawrence Seaway up there from Canada.
Well, we desperately need to talk to this servant, I guess.
Yes, and I think we need to see the crime scene because if several of them were shot, there may be a blood trail leading to a hideout that may give us clues as to. It sounds like they, at least the ones who gathered the ransom, were probably close by, or parked a car far away and walked the rest of the way to the meeting site.
Then I'm with you to crime scene.
Deciding to go to the crime scene first and see what's there, you neglect, and not in a bad way, but you neglect to meet up with the rest of the group as they like split off into numbers. Is that right?
Oh yeah, we are
Which group?
like the plague, and
We're going to be behind.
Yeah, we're
If we go talk
encouraging
to the
them.
servant, we're going to be behind everyone else.
Yeah.
They'll be in front of us.
Right,
There
and
goes
this
your
is
money.
a competition, of course. Yeah,
Of course, it's a competition.
right. Jane is the means to your.
There are already more people.
You
to
are
split.
reverse kidnappers.
I'm just
We
kidding.
find her, we get the money.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Okay. Go on.
I was just gonna say I don't know if it was said, but maybe the money is larger. The reward is larger if we find her alive. So time is of the essence, especially if they ditched her when they got the money and just left her to die wherever they have her.
Right. Absolutely. Okay. leaving the servant off in its house, off in his house somewhere, leaving the crowd off at the courtyard, and the commissioner and sheriffs wherever they're at. You make your way to the site of the shooting. As you find yourself upon the lake bed, upon the edge of the shore, you can see the stains of blood still present on the ground. You can see that there's a few markings, like stakes in the ground with some ribbons on them that showed where some of these individuals had died. They don't have chalk out here on the dirt. They just use these ribbons and stakes instead. You can see the water that has this gentle sheen of light upon it. It is the afternoon. The sun is still high in the sky, given how far north you are. But you can see the reflection of the light bursting off of it. The occasional bubble of some fish here and nearby. You can see a squirrel rush out of a bush over towards you, seeing if you have any food, and then rushing back away.
I want to see if I have a nut in my pocket.
Roll luck. Our first roll.
Our first roll, and it's a luck roll.
A luck roll for squirrel nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that checks.
Do you roll both, like
That's right. Correct.
59?
59 under or over?
Look at your luck score and then compare it. If you're over it, you failed, and if you're under it, you succeeded. It's
I
at
don't
the
see
top.
luck here.
Luck is at
Luck-
the top, right by the Call of Cthulhu logo.
Oh! My luck is 60. I have 59.
Oh,
Nice!
Yes. Okay,
That's
59 under
success.
60. That's perfect.
Yeah, that's
Um,
awesome.
Yes, you have a couple of nuts and berries, perhaps breakfast that you took with you.
Pocket breakfast.
That's
Ew.
right.
Yeah, little buddy, come over here. Let them see the crime scene. I want to feed a squirrel a little.
Okay. The squirrel scampers over to you.
Yeah.
Go on.
All of Alex's characters have a little bit of druid in them.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's good. Perfect. Tadush feeds the squirrel, and Stan and Lottie, you may look at the crime scene if you wish. Is there anything you'd like to look for, or any way you'd like to go about this?
I would like to examine the crime scene, and I would also like to try and track movement away from the crime scene. Because
Okay.
we know that some of the individuals were shot, right? That we're looking for,
Correct.
so there could be a blood trail. We're trying to
Okay.
get there first.
I would like you to choose spot hidden or track. Now, you can roll both of these eventually, but choose whichever one is more of your interest. And they pertain to different things. Spot hidden, events around the crime scene that might be more relevant than you realized, and track is to find that blood trail.
She will start by examining the crime scene and potentially leave the tracking to someone who's better at it than she is.
Yeah, I'm terrible at everything. I'm the muscle, and that's about it.
Okay.
But Stan would be focused on the blood.
Okay.
That's where what would draw his attention. He
Yeah.
probably can't follow it, but
Okay.
he would.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me a track roll for Stan then.
Yeah,
Spot hidden for Lottie.
Lauren, go ahead and go first, though.
Oh, 75 over 55.
Oh no.
75 over. Okay. Do you want to spend luck? I don't imagine you do.
That's a lot of luck.
Ooh, that's 20 luck. I have 60.
Okay.
This seems very important.
You can also, if you choose, you could also push the roll if you'd prefer. Or neither. You can fail. That's fine.
I want to push it.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you changing? What are you doing differently in order to push this roll?
I am. At first, I was standing back and observing from a distance, and then I'm going to get closer, and then also try and survey the surrounding area as well. There's like this idea in the back of her head that maybe Jane was here, and I'm looking for like a hiding spot or something like that where she could have been, and we could have like tracked her.
Yeah.
That we
That's
could
great.
track her too. Is that okay?
Okay. That's perfect. Yeah.
A 2!
Wow, extreme
Yeah!
success. Okay, perfect.
Oh yes.
Excellent. As you look at the crime scene, you notice a few details that are perhaps relevant and perhaps just interesting details. You can see that you are on the side of a small lake, but the grounds here have been recently formed or recently cleared. You can see that there is soft soil in several different patches that look almost circular in nature, like trees were recently uprooted or cut down and covered over. It seems like this clearing did not always exist here. It is something that is relatively recent. Probably this relates to the reservoir that you heard was being built. This might be or might have been the start of a construction site. But you look around and you can see that this is relatively new, relatively recent. Another thing that you would notice, you can see that there is about 100 yards away, since we're using Imperial system for this, about 100 yards away, you can see the edge of the forest where probably the kidnappers ran off into. You can see that there is an area part of it. There are ribbons wrapped around trees, and you can see some tape as well. That area has been marked for logging. Another thing you'll see or notice, a dirt track from the main road seems to head over the small field to the edge of the clearing. So there is a road or a makeshift road that goes from this clearing deeper into the forest. You surmise that means that the construction that began here is continuing on into the forest, and they're gonna log most of those trees. They're gonna get rid of them, but a vehicle has made its way deeper into the forest already. It hasn't stopped there, and seems to have been traveling back and forth often enough for there to be a clear road. So maybe there is a vehicle that is involved in the situation. Lastly, you see several other short stumps, a couple of piles of fallen tree trunks, and just the general evidence of the previous night. Discarded shotgun shells, bullet casing, some bullet holes in tree stumps, a couple bullets on the ground, and a couple of heavy blood stains. Other than that, it seems very still and even ominously quiet.
For my tracking on the blood, I rolled a 15 over 10. So I am going to use luck.
Okay.
Good.
There's no way pushing that is going to do any good.
No.
Oh, don't push that.
Yeah.
Certainly
So
not.
Calculated
I'll-
risks.
I'll lower my luck.
Okay.
Mechanically, what is pushing the luck? I don't.
Yes, pushing a roll is when you choose to roll your skill again, and a failure constitutes a negative consequence. So if you fail, then something bad's going to happen. For example, if Lottie failed that roll, she certainly would have ruined any evidence that she might have found. She would have trampled over it. It's possible even that she might have injured herself, stepped on a nail that was left from the construction site, that kind of thing, and taken some damage from it. So to push a roll, you have to do something different than you were doing previously. And it means that if you succeed, no change, you just succeed. But if you fail, bad news.
All right.
Yeah. And in my case, I'm going to spend some of my paltry luck pool. You guys have great luck pools. I don't. But it's worth it because I want to succeed on this. And it doesn't seem like any of us is great at tracking. So I got close enough to risk the luck.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I exactly succeed.
Okay, that's perfect. As you look around your brawny self, you bend over to try to see that blood. You can see the obvious blood stains at the crime scene, but you can also see the tracks that seem to be leading off into the forest. It seems like there are two sets of tracks, and they do sort of Y out, almost like they're separating. Perhaps they were seeking to, if one of us at least gets away, kind of thing. One of them is more blood than the other. So you recognize that one of them was badly injured, and the second was probably just moderately so. You only see a few blood spots here and there, almost like they cut their hand rather than they got pierced with a gun. You can see the tracks head off into the forest, and you can easily begin to track them down and follow them if you choose.
As I notice the blood and the splitting of the trail, does either of the tracks follow the vehicle that Lottie saw drive into the woods? And
Yeah.
the other question I had about the vehicle is, are they like really narrow tires like a car would have, a sedan type car, or are
Right.
they wider tires like a truck would have,
Yeah.
or a van
Right.
type vehicle?
Exactly. Yeah. Wider truck tires. I don't know. I don't know that tire size or tire width is quite comparable in 1925, but you can
Probably
tell
not.
the depression is heavy enough to have been a truck. One of them does seem to follow that trail.
Is it the more wounded or less wounded?
More wounded.
See, I was going the other way until I found that out. I think we should follow the more wounded in the vehicle.
Always follow the more wounded.
The only reason I thought
my
follow the less
friends,
wounded is he might still be alive, where the other guy may have bled out eventually. It's 1925, so he may
more
not have
wounded
lasted.
is always slower.
Always slower, but you can't
And
question him
weaker.
if he's dead. But yeah, I agree. Since the vehicle went there too, I would think that would be the way to go.
So we are on foot. You are not such a good driver.
Wait, hey, I'm a great driver, I'll have you know. We can drive. I can follow these tracks.
It'll be very loud.
It will be loud.
I'm up for a hike. I dressed appropriately today.
It is very difficult to chase a car while hiking.
But
There
we're,
are pretty squirrels, of course, and stuff. But I don't have any more nuts. Completely.
do I
out.
understand correctly that we are following someone on foot, that the car was a previous?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes, so the
we're
Yeah,
car
they
is
may be
over.
related, but they're not obviously related.
Okay.
Yeah, I say we should follow on foot, because if we're driving, we may miss wherever this guy went. We can't follow a blood trail. We're not good at it anyway, so it's going to be hard enough without driving.
Stan, every 15 minutes you gotta carry me then.
Okay. Rah. So I put Tadeusz on my back like piggyback so his fine leather shoes don't get ruined.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So you head off into the forest to follow the trail as best as you can. You've previously succeeded on your track roll, so I won't make you roll again right now, at least for some time. But you begin to move deeper and deeper into the woods. Initially, there are deer that shoot out from one of the bushes, one of the trees over behind another one. You see a few squirrels climbing up. You hear the sound of bird chirping and all sorts of different wildlife that surrounds you. It seems like there's plenty of animal critter fauna that are around here. But as you make your way through the forest, you don't see any other signs apart from that blood trail that you're following and the tracks that are pretty close to it. You can see that the blood continues on, and you can see that it is on top of the tracks, so that there was the walker after the vehicle was last here. As you make your way through, please roll a listen roll.
All of us.
That's correct. Yeah.
93.
Oh,
Sounds like a failure.
yeah. I'm 45 over 20, so I failed as well.
Okay.
2 zeros is 100.
Critical fail. Like,
Well-
this is meteor falls out of the sky and lands on you kind
Yeah,
of
well,
critical fail.
Well, it could be, but 2 zeros. What's your other dice? Because it could be a 5.
4.
It's a 4. So that's 4.
Yeah,
That's,
so that's
uh,
4.
That's
Okay.
good.
Woo, that's much
Yeah.
better.
I thought you meant 000.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing you can ever roll in this game.
Yeah, the D100s are funnily, they're strange to read. 000 means 100. 001 means 1. And so 004 is great. That's a good number.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that
In
should
fact,
be
you
an
have
extreme
at
success.
least you have at least a 20 in listen because that's the default. So that would mean that this is an extreme success. That's perfect.
35.
Yeah, even
Good.
better.
Tadeusz, you see, or hear rather, that there is the sound of breaking wood up ahead.
It's a bear.
It's a bear.
Roll a spot hidden.
I start looking around too when he says it's a bear because I'm carrying a human right now.
All right, yeah.
Oh, I rolled a 9, under 25.
That's great.
Yeah, under 25, 9.
Anybody else succeed also?
No, I rolled 43 against 40.
Okay, good.
Sorry, are we all rolling spot hidden for this?
Yes, you can
Okay.
all roll. You don't have to roll.
I would like to, but that's a 98.
Oh
Yes,
no,
that's what I was
Lottie!
hoping for. Okay, good.
But it's not a fumble, right? Because I have a 55. So
That's
only 100's
correct.
a
That's
fumble.
All right.
Just a really bad failure.
That's okay. I'll get you eventually.
See how good I am at rolling these high numbers?
Yeah.
I'm
You
just
are.
so good at it.
It's so much D&D. You're used to rolling high.
Right.
Oh, I wish.
You
Somebody
following,
didn't train.
following the sound of the breaking wood, you look through the woods, and you can see that there are 2 individuals. One about 6, maybe 5.5 feet tall. It's hard to tell with the landscape as it shifts and moves up and down. The other one relatively short, about 4.5 feet tall, you'd guess. It's hard to say exactly. These are 2 people wielding rifles slung over their shoulder, and you can see that they are also wearing hunting gear, a brightly colored vest. What is it that each of you are wearing?
I guess this Stan was rolling for some gunfire.
I think he means just clothing. I'm probably wearing a cheap, like tweed brown suit, kind of. Not even a suit, no tie, like a button-down shirt, but open at the top.
Yeah.
And all like earth tones, cheap. It would be what he could afford on a driver's pay. And probably like boots instead of like fine shoes underneath, and they're probably dirty.
You blend in well. Lottie?
Lottie has a 48 rifle shotgun skill. So I'm taking this to mean she has been like trained in hunting, but of like the sport type. Would that be the situation for like a dilettante background? So I think that she knows how to dress properly for the outdoors. So similar to Stan, she's got her boots on. She also has a very long coat that's slightly more baggy than it probably needs to be, possibly because it's concealing a weapon underneath it.
Yeah.
If I'm allowed to have something
like
that.
A sawed-off shotgun would be easy for that, but a sawed-off shotgun wouldn't be used for hunting. So
right.
But you can, if you have a long coat, you can conceal your weapon for sure.
Okay.
It's funny. I just realized that you're a dilettante with so much money, but you've got your poor author that you're being employed by. So you're looking for more money. Yeah, squeezing every penny. Tadeusz,
well,
what are you wearing?
I work for free. That's part of this whole thing. Is that I'm the self-appointed secretary because I like his book so much, which is why I need him to keep writing, because I'm like,
that makes sense. I
need him to write his books.
Tadeusz, what are you wearing? Your character.
Is it summer, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Summer. Yep. It's going to be about, if I convert to Celsius, 25, 27.
Oh, then I am in a shirt with the suspenders. Shirt, suspenders, and trousers.
Bow tie.
With, again, pretty much maybe like Brad Pitt in Snatch.
Okay. Excellent. These two individuals do not see you then, allowing you, if you would like, to sneak up by rolling stealth or to perform some other action. What would you all like to do?
And do we see any injuries on them?
Mm-mm. You're about 100 feet away at the moment, so it's not too far, but there is enough foliage between you and them to make it difficult to see any wounds for sure. But you don't see any currently.
Would Stan know that Lottie carries a weapon? Yeah, you usually do on this type of stuff. Okay.
On this type of stuff, we knew we were going to the woods to hunt a murderer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's why I wanted to know if I would know. So I would tell Tadeusz, stay here, and Lottie, you're in charge.
As an honest citizen, and as an honest citizen of United States, and I'm here clearly legally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, that's not what I was saying.
Them.
I
we
just
have
want
to tell them there is a bear around.
Yeah. I'll go tell them there's a bear. You stay here with Lottie. Lottie, protect him. Don't let him go anywhere. And then I will kind of move forward while I watch what they're up to. Like, are they doing anything shady, or does it look like you said one was shorter, so like a dad and a son prepping for their morning hunting trip?
Right, yeah. Go ahead and roll a luck roll, which I know is your best stat right now.
I just spent 5 points.
I know.
That's 30 over 25. I had a 30.
So
until
close.
I spent 5.
So close. Oh wow. The younger one swings his rifle around and fires at you as you take a total of 3 damage. The rifle pierces through your shoulder. As soon as they see that they have shot a man, you can hear them call out, "No, sorry, don't shoot, we're sorry."
A little late for don't shoot, don't you think?
The man, the taller one, steps forward rather quickly and he says, "Forgive him. He's my son. He's just learning. He's a little skittish these days. We're out hunting. Please." And he stands like to block in case you do open fire.
Yeah, I didn't even have my weapon out, so
right. Of course, he doesn't know that, but yeah.
Yeah, and he doesn't know that. So I am. Have you seen anybody else out here? And do you have bandages? Because I am currently bleeding through my only cheap suit.
The man steps forward and slings a pack off of his back. He sets it down onto a fallen tree, and he begins to rifle through. He does pull out some bandages and some scissors that you can cut them with. And he says, "I'm terribly sorry. We're out hunting. My son and I, we came with a couple of friends of ours, and we've been tracking a deer. But we thought that you were the deer, or at least my son did. We're really terribly sorry."
With hunters like that, we don't need bears.
Yeah. By the way,
finish off people.
Both of you should retire from hunting and take up fishing.
It's not a bad idea. Not really.
It's a great idea. And preferably in Connecticut.
Connecticut.
As far away from this state as possibly can.
Yeah. At least a state, maybe 2 states away.
Well, again, here he cuts off the bandages for you and begins to bind your wounds. If you would like to bind your own wounds, go ahead and roll first aid.
I would assume I have a better chance than he does, but not a good one. 20, even. 20
Excellent.
under 30.
That's great. A success. So you can go ahead and regain 1 hit point. So you've only taken 2 instead of 3.
I'm less close to death.
You're less close to death. Your wound is bandaged, and no major harm, no major injury, so no penalties to any dice rolls for this one.
Yes, Stan, with your knowledge how to bend yourself, so next time, give me the chance. Because I use this knowledge, I read it from some books, and I have some knowledge.
Okay. Thanks, boss. Aren't you still hiding in the trees, or did you guys come up when I got shot?
As soon as you got shot, I ran towards you.
Boss, you're not supposed to run toward the shooting.
Oh.
How many times have I told you don't run toward the shooting?
Right.
You have to survive to write my story once I'm gone.
Shit. Sorry. Yes, I know. Next, wouldn't happen again.
So while I'm bandaging myself and we're questioning these two, did they see a wounded person go by here? How long have they been out here? That kind of stuff.
Yeah. We've been out here for 3 days or thereabouts. We've stuck pretty close to the edge, but Brian and Arthur, they went deeper into the forest a couple of days back. Haven't heard from them since we set a week to adjourn back together. Said that we'd meet together back on Sunday. But no, we haven't seen any wounded man, like you say. We didn't realize there was such a commotion, gunfight and all that. No, we hadn't heard about any of that stuff. We haven't seen anything like that. We did run into a camp of artists from Boston University. I think they said they were coming out to the forest to escape the world and paint some pictures of nature.
Yeah, they're probably barefoot by now.
Did you see any vehicles driving by or hear any heavy vehicles recently?
You can see the younger boy. He's about 14 years old. He tugs on his dad's sleeve and he says, "Remember, there was the loud noise we heard after we woke up." And the father continues, "Yes, that's right. Well, we did hear a vehicle woke us up. It seemed to have, yes, well," he whispers a little bit, "My son's been having bad dreams. So he woke with a start and was quite terrified of the truck or the noise of the vehicle." But he then lifts his voice a little louder. His son probably heard all that, of course, but he says, "We did hear a vehicle sometime, perhaps 2 days ago."
Lottie steps
Probably
forward.
about that.
How long have you been having bad dreams? She'll ask the kid.
It's been about, well, I guess ever since we got into the forest. I've never really been out in the woods this deep before.
Have you been around this area the whole time?
Well, mostly we've stuck around this area. We, it's just, I guess, Manchester County in general. And I could post a map for you, but Manchester County is home to about a dozen plus towns, and it does have this massive forest, several lakes and things within it as well, several small lakes. And so he would tell you further, though, that we started off in Bennington and mostly stuck around here off the road. We're far enough away to not hear normal traffic or anything happening, but we've been, but not so close that, well, I think you get my drift.
Sure.
The vehicle, go ahead.
So just
Yeah,
since you started
Lottie
hunting.
wants.
That's right.
I'm sorry, that's terrible. What's your name?
Lottie. Why are you always asking people about their dreams?
You never know what's connected. It's always the tiniest little detail that'll send you off in the right direction. You need to read more,
Well,
sir.
He's going to
I'm
have
so
bad
tired.
dreams for a while. He just shot me.
Yeah, I'm so tired to describe you my dreams. Now you're after this poor kid.
Seeing that our esteemed author is becoming frustrated with Lottie's line of questioning.
Uh-huh.
She'll ask both of them, you're sure that you haven't seen anyone injured wandering through the forest? You haven't met anyone else? Did we have a physical description of Sydney
Yes,
Yep, you do.
Sydney Harris.
Sydney Harris. Can I give him the physical description of Sydney Harris and the description of Jane and ask if they've
Absolutely.
seen any one of that?
Yep, you can. Yeah, you give the descriptions. Neither of them have seen anyone to match those descriptions.
Do I
George is the kid's
believe
name,
them?
Do you roll a psychology?
37 under 45.
Nice.
Yeah, you believe them. They don't seem to. They know their friends are here, and you get all of their names. So Brian is the father, Arthur is the son of the other group, and then these guys' names: Alistair is the dad, and George is the son here. And so they know that they're here. They've been to the painters' camp or the artist camp, and so they met several artists there. They said they were very nice, but they didn't spend much time with them. The artists did invite them to come back anytime, and they would have a cup of coffee or whatever. But they haven't seen any other humans. They've seen several deer, and that's about it. They give you a physical description of Brian and Arthur, and Brian is described as wearing a big old Texan. This is a big hat.
I could use a cup of coffee from artists. This is so long
Well,
hiking.
Is the artist camp in the general direction that we were following the blood? And do Alistair and George, have they seen any like shacks out in the woods as they've been hunting? Especially if they look like somebody's living in them, like they've seen lights on or activity.
They do point out the direction of the artist camp, and it is in the general direction of the blood trail and tracks. So those are going in the same direction. Blood trail and tracks are moving in the relatively same direction. The artist camp is slightly angled from that, but it is generally that way. And of course, they're people in the middle of the woods, so how accurate could they be? They didn't bring out a compass to check, so
yeah.
You don't know how much you trust it. As far as whether or not they've seen cabins, they tell you, yes, we saw a couple of them, but none that looked like there were people living in them. Most of them were ramshackle, seemed to be here for quite some time, dilapidated, partly falling down, some vines covering them, all that.
I think the boss is right. I think we need some coffee from the artist camp.
Yes, if we go that way, it's only about he checks his pocket watch. Perhaps a day's journey
To the camp?
It's hard to say. We've been meandering.
And this sounds like reasonable route for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, especially if you're riding piggyback.
Yeah. Well, I can't really carry you, so you may have to carry him now, Lottie, because I have a bum shoulder.
Hard pass. Let's go.
I guess you're on your own feet now, boss.
But if they one day to this camp?
Well, let's follow the blood trail. And then when we get near where we think the camp is, or maybe we spot some of the artists, we can diverge. But let's stay on the blood trail and the tracks.
That's right. If Lottie has no other questions about someone's dreams, I can go.
Okay. I do want to remind both of them.
Read my mind.
Yeah. I
My
do want
father
to remind
also
both
had
of them
some
to take up fishing.
interesting ones.
Yeah, and they would like to remind you next time wear a high visibility vest or something.
I look nothing like a deer.
They look at you up and down at your tweed coat, and
it barely fits him. Like when he buttons it, he's like bursting out of it.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah. You have a white shirt underneath?
White or blue.
Oh, blue. Okay.
Yeah, because it probably doesn't match great because
Yeah.
he's not a fashionable dude.
Okay.
But yeah, he probably looks more like a bear than a deer.
Yeah, fair point. Okay, good. Yeah, you part ways with them. They head towards the tree line, like back towards towards the town, but not directly. They plan to do some more hunting, and you continue on.
Does
Mhm.
Lottie know of any folklore of the area that would be tied to people having strange dreams in the forest?
Yes, that's a good question. You can roll occult for this,
Yes, please.
or you can roll history.
Oh, 66 over 45.
Too bad. Want
I
to spend
can't-
luck?
I can't help with that.
She's so curious. If there's anything she would spend luck on, it would be this.
Or do you want to push it?
A push of 45?
How do you spend luck? Also,
Yeah, your luck is the pool, and sometimes you roll against it and try to succeed at it, but other times you just decrease it by the amount needed to reach your target number. So if you're 5 over and you want to succeed, you spend 5 luck to match that number, and then so you just reduce the previous luck amount.
so do you say?
Go ahead.
Say if my current is a 60, I can spend like 5 to, and I will be at 55
Correct. Yeah.
for the rest of the game.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, which can hurt you like it just did me because I rolled a 30 and I had just lowered my luck to 25 to make a roll. So I would have succeeded had I not done that, but I would have failed the previous one.
Oh, Stan.
So you gotta,
Holy damn.
it's a balancing act.
Yeah, with luck like that, you're gonna get hit by rifles.
Yes, I'm going to spend luck.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Excellent. You spend some luck.
Good.
And we're getting up pretty close to our ending mark for this, right?
Yeah, right around an hour or an hour.
Yeah.
Do you have a spot?
I have a spot about 5 minutes away, but it also
Okay.
relies on you agreeing that that's a good spot.
Okay.
In other words, you have to bed down for bed, but But if you're going to try to push through the night, that means something else.
Oh, I see.
Okay. All
I
right.
guess that's actually a
that
good
seems
spot either
good.
way,
We can agree to camp for the night.
We can check one of those shacks and cabins.
Yeah,
There
I
are
think that's
some
great.
vines, of course, but
Yeah, and if it's empty,
much
that
better
would
than-
be a great place to sleep.
Mhm. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Okay. With your success on the occult, you are familiar with some lore and folk tales around this area that often do relate to, as the sheriff already told you, relate to defected troops from the Civil War, specifically from the Union Army. That people would flee through these forests, and many of their souls got lost in the woods while they were trying to flee, and they ended up as ghosts. But that's not the only thing. You said you were specifically looking or thinking through dream, right? Is that right? Okay. Yeah. Yes, there is. In this part of the country right now, you know that there is a tale of a lake hag who is known to create concoctions in her cauldron. She makes a strange brew that affects the dreams of those around them, sometimes causing people to sleepwalk and wander deeper into the forest, to wake up not knowing where they're at, and occasionally to lead people to their doom, where they die entirely, or at least are lost and never found again. And so it seems as though this lake hag is known to alter the dreams in order to persuade people to come to her, probably so that she can eat them like Hansel and Gretel.
Wow.
do you tell us all that?
If you'll
Or keep
let
for
me.
yourself?
You're not too frustrated about my obsession with dreams.
I will be not frustrated about them anymore.
Okay, she will explain everything about the hag and all of that stuff. So, if I was a 16-year-old girl and I had been captured, I would try and get away. So, we could be dealing with a young Jane wandering about the forest, being lured toward a hag of a lake.
If you're aware of this in the lake, where would it be in relation to where everything else is happening, like the blood trail, the car tires, these shacks. I would assume a lot of the shacks are probably around a lake for
Aren't there
access.
multiple lakes?
There are
Probably.
multiple lakes. Yeah.
It would likely be hard to pinpoint, and folklore, as interesting as it is, doesn't tend to be terribly specific.
Is there one near here, though? Is there a sizable lake near this area? Because the boy is having nightmares, so it would have to be close.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll a natural world for this one.
Can I roll 2?
Please. Oh,
Oh
did you fumble?
no! Yes,
Oh no.
it's 99. I told you, disproportionate number of
Oh.
fumbles to my roll.
I rolled a 13 over 10. So there goes some more luck.
Okay.
I
Lottie,
don't ruin it for you.
yeah, we will hold on to that fumble.
Oh, great.
Don't worry.
Impending doom just hanging
Uh-oh.
over my head, won't you?
Yes, he's definitely holding it over your head.
So good.
Okay, so Stan, you know that there is a large lake around here known as Somerset Lake. It has gone by several different names, including Lake of the Woods, as generic as that is. But it does also come up in your mind as sometimes having been called Witch's Lake. It is it is because you're moving through the forest. It's a little more difficult to judge time. It is, if you were in a vehicle, it would certainly be a couple hours drive maybe. But because you're on foot, moving through the forest like this, and it's a large lake, it spans several miles. This would probably be, as far as on foot, this would probably be about an 8 hours walk.
Stan, I have to tell you something.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
It's
But
always bad when
for
you tell me
Lottie-
that.
Yeah, for Lottie not to hear that.
Okay.
Just between you and me. So, this is why I keep her. Because I take inspiration from her dream, like these bullshit stories. But this is not what I want to spend my day to go to figure out this BS.
Well, I don't believe half of what Lottie said. Like not that she's untrustworthy, but all of this ghosts and ghouls, and I don't buy any of that stuff. I just think it's some creepy dude in the woods who doesn't want people coming around, so they start a rumor to keep everybody away, right? And then they peek in their windows so they have nightmares, and then it's a legend. But there is always some real world connection to these stories. It's always somebody causing it, or somebody up to no good that gets misinterpreted as supernatural. It's always something like that. So if they're having nightmares and if something's going around at this lake, then maybe it's because of all the activity at this shack where they're holding hostages.
It's a wild theory. Very wild.
It's always just a
Or
natural,
wilder than a theory of Lottie.
yeah. It's always just corruption of people, and it's never supernatural. At least that's what Stan thinks.
Of course.
So Stan kind of follows what Lottie says, but only because he thinks it's probably somebody like an evil human, an evil person behind it, not a supernatural thing.
May I roll listen?
Yeah.
You may.
14.
Oh,
That's
finally she
the
gets
best.
a good one, and she hears exactly what you said. Stan is probably not great at whispering, so
But
so-
she acts like she doesn't hear because she knows you don't want her to. But it's part of her job.
No
all.
wonder she always knows what you're thinking.
Yeah, but as soon as we get to the shack, I will write down the whole story about the hag and the lake.
Excellent. Yes, you soon find a shack about 30 minutes later. You've been traveling for several hours through the forest at this point. It was about 2 to 3 hours before you saw the man and the boy, and then you continue on for about 2 hours ultimately until you reach the shack where you can bed down for the night if you choose. I mean, as you approach, it looks like it's a single room dwelling. You can see that there is no chimney built into it. It's made out of wood. It is partially dilapidated, but looks like the tree roots and tree branches are going to hold it aloft so that it won't come crashing down upon you. The door is still on wooden hinges. It still does open, but you can see that it is crooked as you approach. There's no porch or anything else around, and you do find that there is, excuse me, an old hatchet that has been buried into a tree. The tree bark has like mostly grown over it, but you can barely make out the edge of the blade and the handle.
Hatchet.
Yeah, hatchet like a small handheld axe. Yeah.
Yeah. Does it have like windows still functional, not unbroken windows?
It does not seem like it ever had windows.
Okay, no windows. I'll stand to the side of the door and kind of tell them to stand back a little ways, and I'll push it open and peek inside.
Yeah.
Not enough bullets, hey.
Do you have a flashlight you'd like to use with this, or no flashlight?
I don't know that I have a flashlight. I don't think I do.
If it's just a story point, Lottie would have made sure we had flashlights.
Yeah. I mean, it could become very relevant, you know. But I would say that it is not. It makes sense for your characters to have thought ahead to bring flashlights, so you can have one if you want one.
Yeah.
I'm sure I would have one in the car for emergencies and stuff that I would have grabbed. So yeah, I'll shine the flashlight in, and I won't pull out my weapon, but I will have my hand on it.
Okay. You push open the door. It creaks loudly as the wood rotting seems to move against its own weight. And then you shine the flashlight inside. As the beam of light passes through, you can see that there are dust and cobwebs. You can see that there's like a wooden bench that has been built. And you can see, as you make your way all the way to the other side, that there is sitting in the corner a skeleton.
What? Recent?
No.
Old. Okay.
Recent skeleton?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that could have been ripped from flesh.
It's in the woods, so animals could clean the flesh pretty quick. But this one's like covered in cobwebs and stuff that makes it look like it's been there a long time. I'll go inside, and is there a blanket or curtain? Not a curtain. There's no windows. Blanket or something, tablecloth, anything like that.
I'd have to look at the decomposition rates of potato sacks, but I'm going to say you find some burlap.
Okay. I'm going to throw the burlap over it and try to, even a rug would work. But yeah, try to engulf it in it and take it outside.
Okay. As you grab the burlap and throw it over, you can see that there was an old flintlock pistol close to his hand.
Is there a hole in the skull?
There does not appear to be a hole in the skull. No.
Yeah.
If the only reason I tell you this right now is if you want to examine him before you move him.
Okay.
Medicine roll.
If I see the pistol there, I would have examined him because I would immediately think maybe he killed himself and look for the hole in the skull. So yeah, I'll examine him first.
Okay. Go ahead and roll medicine.
And then knowing that I have no capability with medicine, I would call the other two in here. Be prepared. You're going to see something you don't want to see. So buck up and come on in.
As soon as I come in, I start to consider my other possibilities and options about spending night in this establishment, in this mansion.
Yeah.
The last guy loved it so much he stayed forever. So calm down, it's fine.
Obviously, that turned out so well for him.
Yeah, it did. He just never wanted to leave. That's a 47 over 1. My medicine is 1.
Excellent.
As
Your medicine
is
is
mine.
1?
1, yeah.
A medicine. I studied books to write the horror stories, so I have some, but it is probably only hypothetical, theoretical knowledge.
Theoretical knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no! I studied it on certainly the same folklore books as Lottie read. So it's also 1.
Also 1. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you're
We're all 1.
to roll this. Of course, fumbling is not good for you. So rolling out of 1, 95 to 100 is not good for you. 96 to 100. But you also don't have to roll if you feel like there's no chance.
Rolling 1.
Yeah, rolling a 1.
Just don't
I will
roll
take my
95 or above.
Right. Okay, we're still checking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. 44.
Okay. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, no further knowledge comes to you from this skeleton. It's so old. Dust and cobwebs. You cover it with burlap and you drag it out of the cabin so that you have a safe place to stay. A single room, you can see every corner of it. That makes you feel safe. You can see everybody. There's no hidden corners, no shadows, nothing like that. There are some bugs that you might want to squash, but even leaves and pine leaves haven't really made their way inside. So it's a good place to spend the night. And
I would like to, before we went to sleep, I would like to examine that pistol, that flintlock pistol you said was there.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a firearms roll.
I do have firearms handgun. 35 under 60.
Great. Yeah, this flintlock dates back to the 1860s, thereabouts. This would be a Civil War pistol. And you can see that it has been fired. There is no ammunition in it currently. Gunpowder would, of course, have been spent a long time ago just through dampness, but you could tell it was fired. There's nothing remaining in it. And you do find, as you search around, that there is a belt that has a pocket, a leather pocket with bullets in there. So there could be more if you want to make use of this, but yeah, it's an old pistol. And could work again if you were able to oil it. And with your firearms roll, you know how to do that.
Yeah, but I don't know that we have any gunpowder that you would need to.
That's right. Yeah.
Fire.
Stan,
We have bullets in the gun. Yeah.
If we are spending night with the skeleton inside, the next morning Lottie will have a lot of stories about my horrible.
No,
dreams.
I put the skeleton outside.
Sure.
I'll put a chair.
Yes.
I'll put a chair right outside the door, and I'll put the skeleton in the chair. There you go. Nothing will come near us now.
Yeah.
We got to guard at the door. And then I'll close the door and put like a piece of furniture in front of the door.
Mm-hmm. Good.
That Lottie was going to ask. But before we go to sleep, I would like to take my gun and do like a perimeter sweep just to see what's around this.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's anything threatening or if I sense anything threatening, and then come back in after asking Stan to please strengthen the door somehow, if possible.
Yeah, I'll do that after she comes back and probably kind of go with her so that she's not alone out there circling the building.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead. Last roll before our break. Go ahead and roll a spot hidden.
15.
Oh,
under
and I rolled
55.
a 4. And I rolled
So
a
that's a
4
hard
under
success.
25.
Hard success. And a 4 under 25 for an extreme. Wow, that's great.
That's an
extreme.
extreme.
Okay.
So both of us did really well.
Both of you. Yeah. Excellent. You can see that there is the cabin hasn't been touched in a long period of time. You do make out an old stone structure that has been built up almost like it was either built as a well, like or a basin to collect water in, perhaps, or perhaps it was used as a table. It's not quite certain because many of the stones have fallen off. You can see them off to the side. What you don't find, and this is good news for you, you don't find any occultic markings. You don't find any strange symbols. You don't find any witches hang like a, I can't remember what it's called right now, but you don't find bones and sticks hanging from a tree.
Dream catcher.
Yeah, or a dream catcher, something like that. So you find a relatively mundane forest. What you do notice, there's no wildlife around here. No bugs, no squirrels, no deer.
Nice. No mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes.
Lottie, this isn't normal.
This is much better now. I feel much better now.
I'm glad you're comforted by this,
You
sir.
want to tell him?
There are supposed to be other living things in a forest.
And when there's not, it's because something ate them or scared them away.
Stan, you
I'm
do discover
very, very glad it did. Because I hate mosquitoes, bro.
there are 4 claw marks against part of the cabin on the exterior.
Wow.
I
Any
do
lakes
not
nearby?
tell Tadeusz about that.
Yeah.
He does not like bears.
There is a lake that is south of you. It's one of the smaller lakes, but there is a lake south of you that you would have passed by. If you had followed the other tracks, perhaps it would have gone in the same direction as that. But because you followed the bigger tracks, it doesn't.
Okay. So I would point out the claw mark on the building to Lottie, just not Tadeusz. I would point at it quietly and say,
What
make
does
sure
it look like? Like, what kind of a claw is this? Is this any kind of wildlife I've seen, or is this something else?
It could be wildlife. The spacing of the claw marks from each other between 1 inch and half an inch, and you can see 4. So it does look like it would be like a bear claw or a human hand. 4 claw scratches or slashes. It looks like it is not particularly deep, but it does go against the grain of the wood, so it's easy to see. Probably cuts in 1/8 of an inch, so very, very small.
how many marks are there? Are there 4, 5, 3?
There's 4 marks, and as far as how many locations does this claw mark happen, it seems like there are about 3 instances of 4 claw marks.
Okay.
How long ago does it look like it happened? Is this recent, or is it like the hatchet in the tree where these are weathered?
Yeah, it is certainly weathered.
Okay. Then we would come back in after we've found all of this and secure this time. Maybe 3 pieces of furniture.
Okay.
1 for each instance of claws.
That's good. And all the furniture here is made out of hardwood, so very heavy, very sturdy, and you can certainly barricade it.
I love how the report to Tadeusz is, there's nothing around here. There's no wildlife, no nothing. Firmly barricade door.
Exactly. And then Stan would grab a chair and he would face it at the firmly barricaded door and sit in it with his gun on his lap. Nothing to see here, Tadeusz. We're good.
Awesome. I thought so. It is so quiet and peaceful in here.
I love it.
Perfect. And so each of you cover yourselves up with a blanket or a sleeping bag that you may have been carrying with you, probably not, and you end up falling asleep. I think that's where we'll break for now.
Excellent. We'll break there. Nice.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So far, so good.
Above the table.
Alex, what do you think so far? Are you enjoying Call of Cthulhu?
Yeah, I think that dreams and claws Are there elms around this cabin?
Elm trees? That's a good question. Yeah.
Elm Street.
Oh, look at this. Stan's not buying it.
But you did.
Awesome.
I'm gonna
Go on.
tea and we can 3 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Take a quick break and we'll all reconvene in
1
minutes.
Perfect.
All right.
Thanks. Sorry. Out.
Did you accidentally eject?
I, for some reason, didn't see the stop cam button at the bottom of the screen, and so I clicked my little avatar and hit stop cam mic, but that takes you out of the layout.
Oh,
So I did it, and I was like, "Oh no!" But it's okay.
that's all right. You're back.
I'm back.
We can't finish this without Lottie. This is
So I'm suddenly backstage. I'm like, "Ah!"
yeah.
Yeah, it is impossible.
Are we ready to begin fully?
I am. I think. I think I've already survived longer than I was supposed to. I get that feeling.
Yo,
Nonsense.
you're starting to frighten me.
He already shot me with a 10-year-old kid. How am I supposed to survive the occult?
3
Good
hit points. I have only 11.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got one back because of the first aid. So I'm down to 12 of 14.
Well, I've been well conditioned that falling asleep is one of the most dangerous things you can do in Cthulhu. So.
Especially after you rolled a 99.
I know.
That he said he was going to hold over your
Mhm.
head.
Yep, it's the best. I mean,
Yeah.
I love it when I roll crits that I get to hold on to. So it's just
Yeah.
the other version of that, right?
It's true. It all comes around.
Okay. You are asleep in the cabin. You
We can do a
hear...
little recap.
Oh, yeah. A recap?
Drunken.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Drunken.
We were led into a investigation of a kidnapping and a ransom drop gone wrong. Some police were killed in the crossfire, and at least a couple of the kidnappers got away with the money. One of them very wounded, the other one not so much wounded. We followed their trail into the woods, found a father and son who should be fishing instead of hunting, who shot poor Stan, who was just going to warn them about bears. He did not deserve that. Then they heard some rumors from the son who's having nightmares, got Lottie's occult juices flowing, and got her into the idea that there's more to this in this woods than just this kidnapping, or maybe it has something to do with it. We continued to follow the blood trail looking for a camp of artists, and found instead a shack near a lake, which, while uninhabited for a long time, there was a skeleton inside that had been dead probably since the Civil War, because of the weapon that we found by it was a Civil War era weapon, flintlock pistol. We searched around and we found the eerie finding that there's no wildlife around here. It's completely still and quiet, which creeped Stan and Lottie both out, but for different reasons, while Tadeusz was just happy there was no mosquitoes. We found claw marks on the building that we didn't tell Tadeusz about, and then barricaded ourselves inside and made him feel like it was no big deal. Nothing to see here. We're just being precautious.
Okay, so we are playing Call of Cthulhu, and this is session 2.
Yeah.
And the main characters are... I will start with Tadeusz. Tadeusz is a writer who is very poor, and deservedly so, I guess, because he picks all his stories from his secretary Lottie. Most of them. And he has the driver Stan.
Yeah, Stan is just his driver and muscle, and he loves the fact that Tadeusz writes stories that Lottie comes up with through all of her like occult interests, but he doesn't believe any of it. He's very he believes that there's a natural explanation for all of it, and it's usually just evil people. Go ahead, Lauren.
And Lottie?
And Lottie is a little rich girl with too much time on her hands and has taken an interest in the occult. She is the self-appointed secretary of the esteemed author and believes all of the occult stuff. Probably a little bit too much, but that's okay.
And is Tadeusz's muse. She provides material for him for
she
his
has
story.
no idea is happening.
Yeah.
She has a slight idea, I guess, now.
Okay,
She
that's
might.
true. That's true. A slight idea. Yes.
Vague.
Takes all of the musings and reskins them for a book. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I imagine Lottie's going through her memory now and thinking that you had first learned these stories from Tadush's books, and then going back and realizing, oh wait, I'm the one who gave him that idea. I'm my own favorite author.
It's keeping her up at night now.
Uh-huh.
Do you stay up late?
No, I would imagine that she might wake up and swap Stan, kind of keeping watch at some point.
Stan?
Yeah, Stan does try to stay up for as long as he possibly can. So if he is relieved, then he will sleep. If not, he will try to stay up as long as he can to stay on guard.
Sure. Sorry, I didn't mean to override
Mechanically-
the reintroductions
Oh, it's
or
okay.
re-summaries.
Oh, no, I think we got through all of it. I think we got through everybody's characters. Do you want to reintroduce yourself, EJ? The most
much.
important person in the...
I'm in the background of the story, of course. So I'm just keeper.
Cthulhu
EJ.
himself.
I'm just sucking up a little so you don't kill me again.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Lottie, were you saying
It
something?
doesn't work.
No, I know.
I was wondering if mechanically Stan stays up all night. Is he at some disadvantage
Yes.
the next day?
Yes.
So is it possible for neither of us to be at a disadvantage if we swap, or we like how would I don't know how
Yeah,
watches
I'll allow
work
that.
in
Mhm.
Cthulhu. Okay.
Yeah. So if you're going to stay up all night, generally it requires a con roll to succeed at staying up all night. And then even if you succeed on the con roll, you still suffer from exhaustion. But if you're splitting this, if you succeed on the con roll, you will not have to suffer from, and that's just basically a penalty die on all rolls. So if you both succeed,
I'm so bad at everything already.
So yes, if you are, and let me actually tell you how the night progresses, because that may alter what happens for individuals or the groups. I would like a power or let me see here. Just a power roll from Lottie and Tadush, because both of you are asleep.
50-50.
I'm glad I'm not making this roll.
Power is an attribute, not a skill, so you'll find it on the main section.
That's an 86 over 50.
Nice.
Oh,
At least
even
it's
when
not
you're
a
asleep,
fumble.
you roll bad.
Makes for real good stories.
Yeah. And books, apparently.
Yes.
My power is 55. I rolled 52.
Oh, nice.
Nice. A good success. Perfect.
Close.
Okay. Good. Excellent. Lottie,
Yes.
you find yourself entering into slumber quickly, deeply, and it feels nice. It's like the first moment that you settle down with the blanket over you to keep you warm. The cold forest around you seemed to fade away from your memory, and you were entering into a different state of mind. In this state of mind, the forest is all around you, but you're not laying down, you are standing up, walking. You can see that you are walking along a path that cuts and snakes its way between trees. Perhaps being this deep in the forest and having walked all day, you're simply ruminating on the things that you've already experienced. It's relatively pleasant. You can see the carpet of the forest floor is carpeted by freshly fallen yellowed leaves that have begun to dry and wither. It seems on second glance like the withering is not natural, but almost like there's a sickness that infests them. As you look a little bit closer, you can see that there are several slugs, miniature slugs, crawling across the leaves as it crackles underneath. And then one of these slugs opens its mouth and a spike protrudes, piercing through the leaf as the leaf simply disintegrates below it. You're walking, moving a little bit more quickly now for the strange experience of the leaves and the slugs. You're walking down the path in silence. Nothing moves but you. There's no wind. There is no sound. Your pace quickens. Everything is dead. And then you feel something calling to you from further down the path, just out of sight. It's a feeling more than a sound. Do you move towards it?
Yes.
Quickly or slowly?
Quickly.
Quickly. Picking up your
I'm
pace, you
moving
move.
right behind Lottie. Are we going?
No, it's a dream.
It's a dream.
Oh,
It's a dream. So you're not there yet.
Taduce tries to
Holy
jump
moly.
into Lottie's dream, but
But he
they are-
succeeded his power roll,
they
so he
succeeded
cannot.
it.
Yeah, you can't.
We have already moved out, and I said,
No.
what?
You succeeded on your
Ah.
power roll, so you're still power
Yeah.
napping.
Power nap, yeah. You move quickly down the path, and you can see there's a clearing up ahead. Yellow light reflects oil, or reflects like it's shining off of oil or something else. And then you realize there's water. The snap of a twig behind you. And as you turn to look, a sharp pain sinks into your chest as something plunges into you. You wake with a gasp and a splutter. You look around and you can see that Tadush is still asleep. Stan is currently awake. And then you hear the sound of what seems like a truck driving in the distance. Stan, you hear this also.
I would be immediately up and trying to move the furniture so that I can. There's no windows, so I need to get the door open to see where this truck is going.
Okay. You move the furniture quickly out of the way. Go ahead and roll a strength check. Tadush, you wake up as the furniture is scraping against the wooden floor.
Oh, 99 over 90.
Okay, so still just a
I
normal.
failed a 90.
Wow. Too bad it's not a phone delay. You know, that's so close. That's so close. He failed a 90.
Now, John, I can see why you always die so fast.
Yes, I always roll 99s and 100s at the worst possible time.
Yeah.
Do not do that.
I think I just dropped some furniture on myself.
Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah, fortunately, you're wearing large boots. As you push the furniture off to the side, you lift it partly, and then it slams down on your toe. Steel toe, perhaps, and you are protected. No damage from this, but it does cause you to back up enough so that you are delayed in pushing the furniture to the side. By the time you get the door open, no lights can be seen. The truck is off in the distance.
Could I tell what direction it was moving, or could
North.
Lottie have while I was maiming myself?
Yeah, you can hear it in its current direction. It is, it moved to the north, or maybe it started in the north, northeast to northwest, but it's in the north of you now.
I
Almost
look
straight
back and see if anybody else is awake, and I would probably see that Lottie woke up. Did you hear that?
I'm not actually hurt, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. I heard
You okay?
It. No. I mean, yes. I had dreams. Sleep at your own risk. Do you want to sleep, or do we need to follow the truck?
I kind of didn't get the door open in time, so I'm not really sure where the truck went.
We barricaded it too well. We barricaded ourselves in.
Apparently, yeah. Apparently, I was stronger before not sleeping for 4 hours than I am right now. Maybe the arm, the shoulder is still weakened.
Okay. Well, it's there. There's no way we can catch them on foot. So do we just continue to sleep so that we're rested for the morning?
Yeah, there should be fresh tracks. And I came from the north, and it was either going northeast or northwest, or east to west, but north of us, or west to east. Maybe we can go we'll just go north, and we'll find the tracks. We'll go back to the blood trail and see if the new
morning.
tracks line up.
In the morning or right now?
No, I think in the morning.
Okay.
Tadush is still asleep. Like, nothing wakes this guy.
There is something more precious than $10,000. His pure life,
It's sleep. Yeah, so I guess I would try to get some sleep. If Lottie's willing to take over watching, and I'll put the stuff back. I'll let Lottie help this time so I don't drop them on my foot or hers.
Perfect. Well, sleep well if you can, and if you see a slug with a spike in its mouth, run the other way.
Oh, I would. But thanks.
Can you please stop moving the furniture, guys? Someone is trying to sleep over here.
All right.
I will
You
take a
switch
post.
places. Yeah, Lottie, you are up and awake and very vigilant, aware of your surroundings, the quiet of the forest outside of the cabin. Stan, please roll a power roll.
80 over 35.
Yes! He will believe.
I am not a good listener. My listening is 20, so I may not listen to Lottie.
That's right.
Come on, we both know she is bullshitting us.
Well, Stan definitely thinks so, but he also trusts her and believes that she very much believes what she believes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he doesn't think
I
she's
also
lying.
don't doubt that.
Yeah,
It's just pity is what you're saying. It's just pity.
it's just like he just can't see a way that any of the stuff that you think is happening in the world is really happening. It's just got to be something else. He's very small-minded when it comes to that.
Mhm.
Too much book reading. From
Not
her side.
yours, apparently.
Mine. Exactly.
Stan, you find yourself in a forest. Yellow leaves fall slowly from the thick roof of branches up above. Blades of sunlight stab through the darkness, and ahead of you stands a dilapidated log cabin. The door swings slowly open. And as you approach, figures begin to emerge. 1, 2, 6, 10. As you look at these figures, they begin to advance slowly and with purpose. They seem shrouded in darkness. You're unable to make out any of their features. You want to turn and run, but you can't take your eyes away from them. Then you see their eyes. They seem to glow a strange yellow. Your muscles strain as your brain cries out for your limbs to work. You have your gun at your side. You even try to pull it. Unsuccessfully. You are powerless before them. The figures wear strange clothes as they come more into the light, and you hear the first one, a man's voice, as he comes closer. Come with us. Join us in his service. Embrace your new destiny and bask in his eternal glory. Its face is lifeless as it gets close to you, the stench of death upon his breath. He's pale and unblinking. A dark green smear of corruption begins to spread from the top of his skull down across an empty eye socket. The eye was just an illusion. The plague spreads across his face as he grins at you. You watch as his teeth begin to fall out, and the smile opens up so wide that his face begins to crack in half. You awake in terror. Please make a sanity check.
I knew that was coming. This is going to be bad. Oh! 90.
Dude,
Over 35.
Come
Over
on.
35.
Please roll 1d6.
Oh.
Come on.
The beginning of the end. 5.
5. Okay. You take 5 sanity loss, and you enter into a bout of madness. You want to get out of the cabin. You need to get away as fast as you can. You run towards the door, and the furniture is there. Tell me what happens next.
I start to push the furniture out of the way, but my shoulder is still injured, so I'm having trouble. I'm clawing at the furniture, and I'm freaking out. just trying to push the furniture out of the way and struggling with it. I guess I can roll strength, but to see if I can get
You
through
don't have
it.
to. Yeah, your fear right now is greater than your strength. So
Okay.
You succeed at moving the furniture out of the way if you choose.
Yeah, I would think that I would, being kind of half asleep and in this fear mind. I ignore the pain and just start shoving all of the furniture out of the way, and then I rip open the door and start running into the woods.
Okay, go ahead and roll a d10.
It's 10.
Roll low. Lottie Tadeusz, you hear a noise, and it's not enough to stir you at first. You are exhausted after.
But I'm awake.
Oh, you're awake. Oh, that's right. You were
Yeah,
watch.
she
You were
was
watch.
awake.
You
I'm
watched
like,
all this
when do
happen.
I get to
Yeah.
do
That's right. You watch as all this is happening. You watch as he stands up. He throws his weight against the furniture and bursts out the door.
I want to chase him.
Okay. Do you want to wake up Tadeusz first, or you want to just chase?
I'm assuming that the noise that he just made bursting through the door is more than I would be able to do to wake him up. So I'm
Sure.
just going to take off after him. Can I roll psychology to see if I understand what's going on?
Yes.
Nope.
Psychoanalysis would actually work better here. That's not higher for you, I imagine, though.
It is not. That is a 1, and I also failed psychology. I just know he's...
Yeah. He's just wild.
I'm running after him. What did you hear?
Yes. So you do. You run after him.
What did this
what
furniture
is-
do to you?
What is your move
Come
rate,
on.
Stan?
When are you going to
Move
stop?
is where is that? 8.
Okay, what is your move rate, Lottie?
9.
Okay. It doesn't take long for you to catch up to him. You get 2 actions per round, and Stan only gets 1 action per round. He starts ahead of you, but you're able to easily close the gap. So in other words, he gets about 100 meters away, and you're able to tackle him or do something else if you choose.
I don't know that he's insane. I think he's actually chasing something. Can I roll something to see if I'm just looking for what he's
Yep.
trying to chase.
Roll spot
Can I
hidden.
roll? Okay. 51 under 55.
51 under 55. You see the darkness of the forest around you. You can see the moon barely peeking through the trees. It is a crescent moon at the moment, not full, not dark. And so you can see some things, but it's very difficult to see much. You brought your flashlight with you, fortunately. You're able to flip it on if you'd like. Of course, that will take away your night vision.
Yeah, I probably won't do that.
Okay. You catch up to him. You're running alongside him. You can enter into any conversation you choose, but you don't see anything nearby.
Okay, so I will just ask, what are we chasing?
Do I have control of myself at all?
You do not have control of your mental faculties, but you can respond in a sort of like your mind is closed off to outside, like you can't think beyond it, but you can receive the input and sort of answer based on what you're seeing or what you remember.
I think he would be flashing on the dream and like these faces coming at him that are corrupted and missing eyes and things. And he would just say, "Dead, corrupted."
Okay. So that
Stan-
tells me everything I need to know.
That tells you a lot. Yeah. Stan will continue to run. You don't know how long, but he shows no sign of stopping.
Okay, I'm going to tackle him.
You tackle him. Okay. He's a big guy. Go ahead.
I
roll fight
know,
roll.
and I'm not.
He's
Roll
also
fight
probably
roll.
not defending himself either, though.
Okay. Yeah. Not
Right.
defending, not dodging. Yeah, sure.
What do I roll for that?
So you still need to roll a success because you have to be strong enough to pull down a body.
Am I rolling strength or am I rolling fight brawl?
You can use either in this case.
Do they require the same level of success?
They do for this one. Yeah.
Okay, we'll roll strength.
Good.
15 under 65.
Oh,
Nice. That's an
That's
extreme
a-
success.
It's not.
It's not.
A
60 is.
13 a 13 is a
would be,
extreme. So a
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
it's just a hard success.
Okay, so you successfully tackle Stan. He seems to be in a frenzy. His mind unable to process what's going on around him. but he's on the ground now.
Okay.
He's like scraping at the ground, trying to keep going, even though he's not moving. He's just pulling dirt and not going anywhere.
You hear 3 gunshots somewhere in the distance.
Oh.
Did Tadeusz ever wake up when we made all that noise?
You can decide.
How hard of a sleeper is Tadeusz?
Yes, as soon as you started to move the furniture, I woke up immediately.
Okay.
Would you like to have also chased down Tadeusz?
Yes. Yeah, I don't
Okay,
want to
okay.
stay
Yeah.
there alone in the night.
You run through the forest and you can see your companions up in front of you, and then you watch as Lottie tackles Stan. You quickly approach as you slow to a jog behind them. You can hear any conversation that plays out, so you also hear the gunshots that sound somewhere in the distance. It does not sound like they're shooting at you. It's too far away. It's also too far away to place their location.
Okay. Lottie is trying to get Stan's arms like pinned so that he stops clawing and hurting himself, while she's just trying to talk, like kind of charm him down in a sense. Just like, it's not real. It's okay. Just calm down. You're going to be fine. There's no faces. There's nothing eating you. There's no slugs. It's okay. That sort of thing.
Interesting.
Deus thinks that it is not effective. You gotta
Stan.
choose something. You gotta choose
This has
something.
got to be the most
one.
ridiculous thing you've seen all day.
Yeah. He's probably
Yeah.
taking notes. He's like, I don't know what's going on here, but
It'll
this
be a
is
great
great
scene.
material.
Stan, when you created your character, did you create a favorite item or treasured possession?
I don't think so. But I think if he had a treasured possession, it would probably be something from Poland, something from home, and maybe something that was like a family heirloom, like an old watch or a pocket watch, something like that.
I like that. Yeah. Okay. Lottie, you know that in moments of high stress, Stan is prone to thumb his pocket watch.
Okay, she'll try and find it and put it in one of the hands that she has pinned.
Stan, you come to your senses as you feel the familiar weight and texture of your family heirloom. You exit the stupor. You are still, we're going to say claustrophobic for now, because I don't know what the term for cabin phobic is. So you're claustrophobic for now, and that will stay with you for the time being. But you are successfully out of the mental breakdown state.
What happened, Lottie? Why are you
I was
holding
hoping
me
you'd
onto the ground?
I was hoping you would tell me. She'll like roll off and ow.
Remember the slugs you told me about?
Yep.
Yeah, well, that didn't happen. I saw like dead people with their faces corrupted and falling apart and empty eye sockets, and they were trying to get me to go with them.
Oh. Can you describe them?
Lottie just crosses her arms and stares at the both of you.
They had green stuff and it was growing and it was everywhere and it was corrupting everything.
Oh, horrible. Did they say something to you?
Yes, they told me to follow them, to join them with someone powerful. It's probably some cult or something.
Okay, guys, I have to say that you are taking these dreams way too serious at this point. You gotta chill. We are here to find a little girl. Do you remember $10,000? We are way above that.
Well,
I have to sleep a little bit without
you did.
moving the furniture.
Yeah, we're all
Oh,
done
wait.
with the sleeping thing.
I'm not going back in that cabin.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
no more
I'm
cabin.
not going back in there.
We did you hear the gunshots? We should probably go figure out what's
Gunshots?
happening. Yeah.
I didn't hear gunshots.
Well, they were that way. No, wait, we couldn't tell where they were from. They were too far away. We need to follow the truck now. Do you
And you
remember the
could still
truck?
stay that way. And,
I did. The last thing I remember is the truck. You told me to go to sleep, and then this. I
Yes,
wake
and
up
then
out
you had a
here.
dream.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, then you stay away from gunshots. You are the last
Apparently,
person
I'm not
to follow
I
those.
can't sleep or go near guns.
Okay, Lottie is trying to take stock of where we are, where the truck went, where our trail of blood was, and where those gunshots might have been to decide which direction we should go.
Yeah, that's good. Go ahead and roll track for this. I will hear arguments for a different skill.
This better be good. May I climb a tree and gain a bonus die on track?
Yes, you may.
Do I
Go ahead
have
and roll
to
climb.
I was gonna say, do I have to succeed at climb first?
Yes, you do.
15 under 45 for
Oh, that's great.
climb.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
you can easily climb a tree. You climb a tree pretty high up. You can see the forest extending in all directions, almost enough to be, unhelpful. But as you look more closely, you can see where the town was that you have come from. And you can also see a small patch of trees that almost seems to cut through, almost like you'd expect a river to be. But you do recall that there were occasionally trees felled along that truck path, probably to make the road a little easier. And so you can see a slight path in the direction towards the north. And so you can now gain a bonus die on your track.
Okay. Okay, that's a 24, so that's a fail, but I'll roll that's a 40
Would you like to
Fail.
spend or use luck on your 24?
on the 24. Yes.
Okay. Now tell me, I want to match your intent the best I can. So tell me the one question you would like an answer to.
I think the truck was the last
Trackable or locatable.
trackable, locatable that we know is like pertaining to what we're looking for. Most recent identifiable things. The gunshots were too far away. She's guessing gunshots equal truck. So where's the truck?
Right. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Truck is to the north, slightly northeast. As you pinpoint the track or the trail that it would be traveling along, the noises as well, it does seem like the gunshots probably did come from that direction. You're probably right about that. You can see that there is, you can see that off in the distance, there is a light slowly moving through the trees, probably the headlights of that truck, now that you're up at the top of the canopy.
Okay. She will hurry down. All right. I see the truck. This way. We have to hurry. And without...
Oh, what time is it now?
Doesn't matter. We're walking.
But still.
It is 2:30 a.m. Please, everybody, roll a con check.
Oh, no. Oh, I'm so bad.
Oh, I almost failed that.
A 14 under 40.
That's
Nice.
excellent. That's excellent.
I rolled a 76 under
I think-
80.
Wow.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
72 under 55.
72 under 55. Okay, that is
Over.
unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
serves you
over.
Yeah.
And you had the most sleep.
Oh.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Stop moving furniture while I'm sleeping. Come on. What
Tadeusz,
kind of sleep?
you will gain a penalty die to all checks made on this day. A penalty die means that you roll twice and you take the worse of the two numbers.
Disadvantage.
Oh, this is disadvantage.
Yeah, that's what it's called. That's
is
this game's version of disadvantage. Penalty
Just
die.
for asking, what time is it?
Yes. That's why you never
Holy
ask
shit.
the keeper questions that aren't related to the investigation.
Yeah, that's right.
Lauren tried to stop you, but you
Okay. You pick up the trail 2:30 a.m. as you make your way through the forest. At about 4:30 a.m., the dawn's light is beginning to make its way through the trees. And at about 5:30 a.m., you can see that the sun is fully arrived over the horizon. Not that you can see it exactly, but you can see more easily now that the sun has arrived. As you follow the truck, you noticed, Lottie, while you were up in the trees, that it was already about, well, it was a long distance. It was a couple miles away, and you were only able to see it because it was so dark and because it had its headlights on. So you know that you won't be able to catch up to it unless it stops somewhere along that path. But you're able to travel along the path that you have set out in order to find it eventually. Now,
can we before you continue, if we saw the headlights, or if Lottie, to be specific, saw the headlights because we didn't see them, can
Correct.
we take a intercept course instead of running straight toward the lights to close the gap? I mean, if we saw the headlights, it would indicate that it was heading at least in a direction angled toward us. So instead of going straight at the lights, we would go in the direction we think the lights are heading.
Yeah. You mostly saw not the light shining towards you, but the lights being reflected
like a glow
off of trees. Yeah, the glow, the ambience.
Okay.
But yes, you could still take an intercept course. To do that, I need a navigation roll.
I can
Is
do
the
that.
driver good at that?
The driver just happens to be decent at navigation. Yes. Now, whether the player can roll, he can't. That's a 91 over 60.
Oh no.
I'm still confused. My mind is muddled. I am not thinking straight still.
Collecting those 90s.
Yeah, I love the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I'm dice jailing these dice.
It is my obligation to ask if you would like to push that roll.
I think I will because I've got a 60. So
okay. How would you like to change or alter your method here?
Changing dice is in the first place.
I realize that the cobwebs are still in my head, and I actually slap myself in the face.
Okay, good. Good.
And I roll a 33.
Oh, that's good. Okay,
under
good.
60.
Wow, I was worried for you. Okay. You're able to plot a course based off of Lottie's description of where things were headed and what she made out of the situation, allowing you to, within the hour after sunrise, to locate a truck. You can see that it is parked, and there is an individual who is walking around the truck. He has heavy boots on. He's wearing overalls. He has a hat on and not a flannel, but just like a button-down shirt beneath it. This is a blue-collar worker. You can approach quietly if you would like, or you can approach loudly and make your presence known if you prefer.
Is he wearing a big hat?
He is not wearing a Texan hat, if that's what you mean.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm definitely, if I'm approaching quietly. Or trying to, because I've already been shot once by not approaching quietly.
Right. Yeah.
Do we see Can we just observe a little bit from a distance to see is this a sign of like a scene of a shooting? Is this where the gunshots occurred, or is that somewhere else?
Right. Yeah, that's a good question. You don't see any bodies. You don't see any blood spatters, and you don't see any obviously broken branches from shotgun fire.
And there's no cabin here. It's just the truck in the
Correct.
middle of the forest on the road.
That's right. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
will
as you-
very, very cautiously go around the truck to see what's behind it.
Okay, excellent. It sounds like you all are trying to be relatively stealthy, so I need the person with the worst stealth to roll.
Bet that's me. 20.
55.
Tadeusz,
Okay.
what's your stealth?
Stealth?
Yeah.
With the disadvantages now.
Oh,
Oh.
sorry. You tell what's your
No,
stealth
just
score
tell us
before
what
you
your
roll?
score is.
Oh.
Because the one with the worst score has to roll because they're the worst at it.
God
Most
damn it, it
likely.
is a 25.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's me.
Stan, go ahead and roll.
18 under 20
18 under 20. Excellent.
with my newly jailed dice replaced.
Yeah. Yeah, that's excellent. Okay. Go ahead. Well, not go ahead. You can see that there is this man walking around the truck, and he seems to be zipping up his pants. He was probably using the restroom in the forest, and you're able to see as he does. He has to pull up his shirt a little bit to tuck it back into his overalls, and as he does so, you can see that there is a wound on his chest. It looks like it was recently bloody, slightly festered, but he is very clearly wounded. And he doesn't notice you as you get closer. He begins to walk back towards the truck as he as he reaches towards the handle to open the door.
Hey guys, either he met Alistair and George, or that's the guy we've been following.
And we know that one of the individuals from the ransom meeting was wounded.
Two were.
Or two of them
Two
were.
were.
Yeah.
Yep.
One slightly
But one of
wounded
them was-
and one
One of them
heavily.
was worse.
Yeah.
Do we know which one that is? And does this man match the description we have of Sydney? What's his face?
You don't know which one was which, but Harris is the last name, I believe.
Yeah,
of that guy.
Harris.
Yeah.
Is he
And-
alone there?
He is alone, yeah. And there is no one, or he does not match that description.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think that we have to grapple him. Do I have a rope?
Roll luck to see if you have a rope, unless your character normally carries rope for some odd reason.
One of his characters does, but maybe not this one.
I have a bag? Probably. I don't know.
A roll luck.
43 and 40. Ooh,
Oh, so you made it. I think your luck was 60.
yeah, my
right?
luck 60.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
You do have rope on you. Yeah.
Of course he has rope.
Perfect. You have some rope. You have plenty. You can tie him up if you choose.
I can. I want to make a lasso.
Right? You craft a lasso, tie a knot, and you are ready to ring him up if you choose. He is opening the truck door currently, so this will be a little more difficult because the truck door is in the way of you and your lasso. But you can try if you'd like to do that without.
How about while he's like tying a lasso and waving it around in the air, I just as he's getting into the car, I kick the door closed on him.
That's good.
Slams.
Yeah, slam him into the door and hopefully to the ground.
Okay.
And at the same time, I throw the lasso.
And probably
Okay.
lasso me.
Okay. This is good. Perfect. All right. You slam into the door. No check required. He's completely unawares. And you slam him into the door or slam the door onto him, trying to make him fall to the ground. The falling to the ground part is what I do need to roll for. So I'm going to give him. He's going to take 2 damage from the car door, and then I need your fight brawl for this.
Okay. Oh. Another set of dice down. That's 79 over 65.
Okay. You deal 2 damage, but you are unsuccessful at dropping him to the ground. Tadeusz, I need you to either make a throw roll or make a fight brawl roll, because I assume you don't have lasso as a skill.
Fight brawl.
Fight brawl.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead and do it.
I have 50.
That's pretty good.
So it is 12.
That's a good one. And
6 and 2 zeros.
oh, so 12 or
6?
6. That's great. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, wow.
So you succeed. You throw the lasso around him and you pull it tight. As you do, he stumbles back towards you, and he is off his balance as you pull him away from the truck. This man is currently grappled, restrained by you.
At the same time, when I grapple him and tie to him, Lottie, you do pretty good magic while trying to calm down people who are grappled. Can you do please your magic? And tell him that it is all fine.
That would be magic at this point.
We don't mean harm.
Okay, Lottie will walk around in front of this guy with her shotgun on her shoulder, but also looking rather like not going for an intimidation route, but just trying to assure him he doesn't have the power in this situation, but if he cooperates, we don't plan to hurt him yet. And is he on the ground or are you holding him up?
I think he's
I'm
dragging him.
to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
dragging him on the ground? Or you
Towards
just
to
have
me.
him? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's lassoed. He's still on his feet, but he's off his balance.
Oh.
So one good tug will pull him down.
Okay.
But the last I left him, he was standing up.
Okay, so he's still standing up.
I want to pull him down.
Okay, he's pulled down to the ground.
Okay, so she'll like kneel down and get eye to eye with him.
Mhm.
All right, we're gonna need you to tell us where Jane is.
Bold move.
That's good. That's good. Okay.
I'm gonna walk up behind, like above Lottie, because she's kneeling, and I'm gonna like be back up, kind of, but my best intimidate face.
Okay.
Can you
Like
can you
good cop,
please
bad cop
remove
thing
any
going on.
gun from him though?
Yeah,
Search for guns. My hands are tied. Search for gun.
Maybe
He's
if
struggling
Stan can
against
do
it, but not
that.
strongly. Yeah, Stan, you want to search for guns while the
sure.
the
I'll
good cop, bad
do
cop,
that
right?
while I'm, being as quietly intimidating as possible, but leaving Lottie in the lead in this conversation.
Yeah. Okay.
And as
Lottie-
I ask that question, I pull the $25 out of my pocket.
Like to bribe.
Yes.
$25?
Pretty
Did
good.
you
Stop arguing.
always have them? Did you always have them with you?
That's rent and food for a month.
Are you crazy?
I just got this morning. Just calm down.
I still do need to. Well, since you pulled the money out, that changes things a little bit. Okay. He says as he's struggling, I don't know anybody named Jane.
Do I believe him?
Roll psychology.
4. Under
Yeah.
45. That's an extreme
Nat
success.
4, Alex.
You can see there's 2 things here, and these are almost conflicting or strange. He seems like he's not surprised, nervous, or scared, but he also seems like he's telling the truth, like he doesn't know who Jane is. It's almost like this isn't his first rodeo, no pun intended.
Who was shooting?
Did I find a gun?
You did not find a gun.
I wanna ask him who was shooting.
I didn't shoot. I heard the noises last night too, but I didn't do anything. I'm just on a geological survey. Carl White. He's my boss under the direction of Mr. Strong.
Oh. Geological survey, direction of Mr. Strong. So you don't know anything about Jane Strong missing? Or do I have these mixed up?
Yeah, that's
No,
correct.
you're right.
Okay.
You're right.
No, I don't know. I knew he had a daughter. Didn't know her name was Jane. I don't know nothing about her.
Sounds like
Okay.
an honest man doing his job.
So you're just out here, geological survey of the forest. Have you've been out here all night?
Started driving late last night. That's right. This geological survey had a bit of distance to cover to get to the lake.
Okay. Can you tell me why you're hurt and where you got hurt?
I'm not hurt.
You're lying.
He seems confused for a moment. Do you want to point out his wound?
He doesn't know he has a wound?
Not saying that he doesn't know, but that he doesn't consider it an injury or like an active injury or something like that.
I'll pull his jacket or shirt open, and I don't say anything. I just am emphasizing for Lottie.
He looks down at it while he's tight by a lasso. He looks down and he says,
Oh, that got into an accident. I was a tree branch fell while I was doing my survey. It's an old wound, a week or so.
I want to try my medicine.
Go ahead and roll your medicine.
Yeah. My one.
You're what?
Yes.
We all have one, so
Can I would first aid also work? Or that doesn't really tell us what it is.
Yeah, it won't tell you what it is. It'll just tell you if it's currently damaging him, basically.
Okay.
I wanna find out what it is.
Yep, go ahead and roll medicine with your penalty die.
do it.
Get double ones.
Double
Yes.
ones is the only way to
Yes.
succeed.
Snake eyes.
That and luck.
Here go 62
Oh.
and 13.
Okay,
62.
62. That's unfortunate. Do you want to spend 61 points of your luck? You only have 60, don't you?
We have 60.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
And do not push that roll.
Be quiet over here, okay?
Oh my goodness.
You're on camera. Please go sit. Hey guys, I don't want you in here right now.
Huh?
Sorry, what was that? Hold on, let me check something. Oh, my
You're
mistake.
in.
I was using the wrong microphone this whole time. Sorry, I thought I muted myself. My kids came in. I was telling them to please leave.
Oh.
You were using the wrong mic.
I was
We
using the wrong mic. Yeah.
Can you switch to the right one?
I can, yeah. Let me switch.
I thought you sounded different than you usually do.
My mistake.
Oh, really?
How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, I think so.
Similar?
Yeah, similar.
It's
It
better.
wasn't bad before.
It wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't.
It was okay. It
Yeah.
was okay.
Okay.
It's better. I think it's a little better now. But
Yeah.
we've had kids appear in the show before, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
Oh,
And dogs.
Yeah, I was covering my mouth like, please
It-
leave.
It is something inevitable.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
We're good with it.
Okay, so you point out this wound and you rolled medicine. You failed on the medicine. Is that right?
Oh yeah.
miserably.
Badly.
Yeah, miserably. Okay, good. Yeah, you can't tell anything beyond that. And let me see. You have Stan. A couple things you notice as you're looking at this wound. You can see a few green veins protruding from the source of the wound.
Corruption. That's it. That's the corruption.
Green veins.
Oh,
He
you're-
says,
I don't know
How
what you're
bad are
talking
they?
about. Told you tree branch. poked me pretty
It's
hard.
green.
Does it look like a wound from a tree branch?
It looks, as you look at it, like a puncture wound. I mean, pretty large, several inches wide.
Okay.
The flesh was pierced through. So
Wow.
pretty harmful. And additionally, let me see here. Looks like a wound from a tree branch. Yeah.
And this happened within the last week?
That's right.
I want to search the truck.
You begin to search the truck, and he doesn't seem to protest at all. You find that in the back of the truck there are several crates of dynamite. There's a tarp over it, but several crates of dynamite. And you see that within the truck there is not much more than that.
How many seats are in this truck?
It's like a 2 with a 1 in the middle, so a 3-seat truck.
Well,
What is in the trunk?
In the trunk is the crates of dynamite, boxes of explosives.
Under the seats or in the glove compartment, if there is one.
Yeah, you find the registration belonging to a Carl White under geological surveys for the Vermont region.
Geological
So that's who he said
researchers.
he was.
Yes. Do they use dynamites?
Yeah, for
For their
geological
research.
surveys,
Excavation.
probably. Remember, I forget
They're not miners.
who told us. Maybe Lottie remembered this, that they had found precious metals in the lake, and they were doing a geological survey to make sure it was safe, because the big man was, what was his name? Lucas Strong was trying to create a reservoir out here and wanted to make sure the water was safe.
Yes.
Apparently it's not, because this guy's wound is green, and that's what I saw in my dream.
yes, I think that there's something corrupt about this entire area, is what we're finding out. But seeing as you work for Mr. Strong, I believe this is quite a fortuitous meeting. You're going to need to either wait here or walk out,
Yeah,
because we're taking your truck.
And just in case, his name is Steve, and my name is Ted, and this is Lucy. You have never seen most American people in your life, I guess.
Yeah. He says he stops struggling, and he says,
It's all right. Fine. Take the truck. I don't need it. Just let me go.
Walk straight toward the town and go to the hospital, because you are not right.
he thinks about it for a moment, and he says,
Fine.
Tell me, when you say you don't need it, why don't you need it?
It's not more important than my life.
Okay.
Well, psychology if you'd like.
Yeah,
40.
guys, I try to unload those dynamites. I don't think that I'm comfortable with driving with a professional driver like that.
Yeah.
Stan,
I got
but
this.
full of dynamites.
I got
let's
this.
It's a fail on psychology. I just want to make sure he wasn't going to go drown himself in the lake following voices.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Fail on
Yeah.
psychology. Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine.
I can definitely drive this truck, and we should keep at least some of the dynamite, because if I see any shacks, they got to go.
I'm unloading those dynamites and trying.
I'm
keep
pocketing
them
a
away
few
from
in
them.
my jacket, like in the
Yeah,
inside pockets, and
Yeah.
I want to see if I can notice that.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll spot hidden for Tadeusz.
$80. And do I need to roll something
Yeah.
else?
You don't see it.
80.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to pocket Stan as many pieces of dynamite as you have pockets times 2.
Oh, nice. I probably have 2 inside pockets and 2 outside pockets, so 8 sticks.
Good, we don't take any dynamites with us, especially with this.
No problem, boss.
insane
Wouldn't
gas.
even think of it.
Awesome. All right then. So where did this Carl was heading?
Carl's
Where did he go?
the Kent.
Where did he want to go? What
There's
was his initial plan?
we're trying to make sure there's no metals in the area so that when the reservoir is created, it won't taint the water. We're just looking around everywhere, anywhere there's large outcroppings of rocks specifically.
How many of you?
There's about a dozen.
We gotta go.
Did you hear you said you heard the shots earlier? Which
I did.
direction did they come from?
They were coming from north of here. North, and that's about all I got.
Okay. Does the road, the one that we were following the tracks on the previous day, did they go generally in that direction?
Yeah.
Okay. So I say we continue to follow in that direction in the truck this time. Is it still dark, or is
No,
Probably.
sunlight up.
sun's up? Okay, then certainly we don't need lights or anything. So I'll drive and we'll head in that direction.
Okay.
Somewhere there are some artists with coffee. as
Yeah,
far as I
we need to
remember.
find the coffee, and then
Yes,
Yeah.
I bet the
it
artist
is. It
did
is.
all.
It is
And-
already morning.
And by the way, Lottie, this
forgot.
I told you there was a reasonable explanation for all this. It's metals in the water that's making all these dreams.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yes.
Stan's
Yeah.
now 100% convinced, even though he didn't drink any water.
Right.
Absolutely. Let's drive.
Okay. You drive. Stan, please roll drive auto.
Okay. I can do that. Maybe. 11 under 70. I am so good
Oh, that's really good.
at
Yeah.
driving.
No dynamites exploded.
That's right. The dynamite's
It wouldn't
exploded.
have. I told you it wouldn't have, even if we had taken it, which we certainly didn't.
You move easily through the forest over branches and roots as you guide the vehicle easily between the trees. You drive for some distance. It honestly isn't that much of an improvement over your own 2 feet because of how much maneuvering you have to do. But he was on a road, and so that aspect in and of itself does make it a little smoother and a little quicker for you. About 2 hours later, late morning perhaps, or mid morning even, you can see there seems to have, well, actually, let me call for a spot hidden instead. Go ahead and roll spot hidden.
I'm gonna.
Nope. 53 over 25.
23 and 12.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh,
What
what's
is that? Is that a
what was
regular
my-
success for you for 23?
Oh shit! Oh yeah. Look, no,
23 under
yeah, it's
25?
regular. I have 40.
40.
So, yeah.
Okay. Would you like to spend 3 luck to make that a hard success, which means that you'll get more information?
Do
Yes.
it. You have a lot of luck. Do it.
Yeah, a lot.
Okay.
I'm down to 57.
Excellent.
Yeah, I started at less than that. So
But
you're
no.
good.
Ah, yeah. Right.
You catch a glint off of some sort of reflection. The glint was quick as you're passing by in the truck, quick enough that you wouldn't have normally noticed. But you're able to stop and crane your head back out of the window to see that there is something off in the bushes. Looks like a rifle. or rifle
Hold on,
scope.
then.
I stop the truck when he says to hold on.
Yeah, hold on. I wanna
What'd you
go
see?
out. There is something in the bushes. Let me check.
Well, nobody's going anywhere alone, boss. We're coming with you.
There is something people do in the bushes alone.
You're going in the
You make
bushes
your-
alone.
You make your way over towards the rifle, and you can see it's leaned up against a tree. You can see that there is blood upon the butt. Thank you. Yeah, the butt of the rifle. Bloody handprint.
All right. Then I call for them. Guys, there's blood again.
First of
I
all,
don't
I
know.
would grab the rifle and get it out of the way. So if anybody is around here hiding, they can't get to it before we can.
Okay. You grab the rifle and you move it out of the way. As you get close to it and remove it, you can see that it seems to have been haphazardly thrown. You check and there's no ammunition in it.
Is there blood, from a person, not on the rifle itself, but in the area, like a pool or a trail?
Yeah, it seems like there is blood. There is blood. I'm just trying to determine how this looks for you. There is blood, and it seems like a trail, a larger pool, and it's not currently pooled, it's dried on the ground, but a larger pool, and then another trail.
Do we see any footprints?
Roll track.
Well, I don't. 84 over 10.
Okay.
I'm starting to get disappointed in American woods. This is not the sweetest thing to spend time in.
But
27.
There was definitely more
95.
blood in the woods in Poland, for sure.
I moved before that.
Okay,
95,
so
I guess.
95, Lottie.
Failure.
Failure. Okay. Stan, go ahead and roll luck.
Oh, with all my luck points that I have left. Oh, that's a 98 over 22.
Okay, great. You're gonna love this.
You're
A gunshot.
Oh, again?
A gunshot fires out at you, but it does not hit you this time. As the gunfire shoots over your head, you look up to a ridge about 20 yards away, and you can see that there is an individual up there who is aiming a gun at you. As soon as he fires, go on.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, as soon as I see that and that he's aiming, I would grab both of them and get behind the tree. Put the tree between me and them. But grabbing both Lottie and Tadeusz and moving, holding them like this, with my back to the tree.
Okay, you move against the back of the tree. No more gunfires. No more gunshots come at this time.
I have my back to where the guy shot from because I grabbed them and just planted my back against the tree. Can either of you see anything? He's up on the ridge.
I can pretty much see a guy with a gun. Okay, right?
Yeah, you turn around and you
Shot
can
him?
see that there's a guy with a gun on the ridge. Yep.
And he shot at us.
Mm-hmm.
He's not wearing a big Texas hat, is he?
Nope.
Okay.
No, but his son is.
Darn it. These people need to raise their kids better.
No, this man looks like He's in his late 20s, and he matches not the description of Harris, but of one of his men.
Okay.
Lottie, can you hit him from here?
Didn't I say I had a shotgun? I don't think I have a
that's
rifle.
shotgun. That's
Well, you
right.
just picked up the
I
rifle.
have
There's
a
no
rifle
ammunition for it,
here.
yeah.
Do we have any
Without
ammo
any
for it though?
ammo.
He said there was no ammo in it. Is there one in the chamber?
Is there any ammo in the truck?
Do I have a handgun though? I don't.
You have a handgun. Yeah, you probably have a handgun. I mean, it's up to you, I guess. But maybe you don't. I'm not sure. You'd have to decide yourself whether or not you have
Let's
a handgun. Yeah.
Let's roll without a disadvantage.
Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll to see if you do have a handgun. Roll luck with no penalty.
With no penalty. 83.
Oh,
You
I'm
do not.
harmless.
Yeah, you are harmless.
You do not.
At least I have a rope.
Right.
You're one of those people that has me around for such things.
Right. Stan, go ahead and roll luck to see if there happens to be one left in the chamber.
Okay. I have crappy luck, so nope. There is not. 88 over 22.
Lottie, go ahead and roll to see if there's a magazine left in the truck.
58 over 25.
There is
Nope.
no ammunition for this rifle.
We've spent all of our luck.
Yeah.
How far away is the ridge?
20 yards. 60 feet.
Yeah.
May I try and stealth to
can.
sneak up on him?
I
To be in
will.
range of a shotgun?
I'm going to take a shot. My range is 15 with my 45. I am going to take a shot to cover her movement. Covering
Shit,
fire.
If only we had some dynamite.
Do you have a match?
Yes,
Always.
you would all have matches or lighters because cigarettes are so common.
Yeah. I reach into my pocket and say, I knew you would want one. And I hand him a stick of dynamite.
I want to tie a rope around the
Lasso it?
dynamite. Yeah, the dynamite.
Okay, you tie her up around the dynamite and you ignite the fuse.
I want to ignite it and lasso towards to this guy.
Okay. With your lasso,
Oh,
this will
no.
give you a bonus die on throw, which cancels out your penalty. So you can roll a straight die, to straight D100, to see if you succeed at getting it right next to him. Meanwhile, Lottie, go ahead and roll stealth with a bonus die.
13.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yo!
This might actually work and not kill me.
The dynamite lands right next to him. There is half a second until the fuse blows. If it does, he is dead.
I wanted to distract him mostly.
Mostly? Okay. You're able to throw it off to the side of the bush instead of right by his feet.
So he
He is
would,
distracted.
with the explosion, and he will some comatose.
Yeah. He'll be
Yeah. Shell
deafened,
shock, yeah.
concussed. Yeah.
Concussed, yeah. I guess they changed the name of shell shock, didn't they? Okay. So, yeah, you throw the dynamite off to the side, and it explodes. Lottie, you're able to sneak up on him. What is your stealth roll?
I rolled a 20. Did you say I had a bonus die?
You do?
50. Nope.
Okay.
20.
So 20. You're able to sneak up onto the ridge, and after the explosion pushes him off to the side, and he is completely distracted. You can be right over him as you choose.
Okay. I'll take his rifle.
Okay, you steal it from him.
And I'm looking around to see if it's only him or if there's more.
It seems to be only him at the moment. No rolls needed. You can see that he is badly injured. There is a great stain of blood upon the ground. You can see that there are there's like some materials that probably he was using to eat food with, but otherwise he's completely by himself and looks like he's in very bad shape.
Okay. I would like to. Does he look like he's dying, or can he talk
He
to me?
looks like if he does not receive medical attention, he will die.
Okay. I will try and administer first aid.
Go and roll first aid.
83.
A failure.
Thirty.
Trying to administer first
just
aid. You
killed
can see that he has a big wound in his stomach that is continuing to bleed. As you look at him and like dress his wounds, you also see that some of his clothing, some of his fabric is torn. Like scratches, claws, tree branches.
Does it go through to his skin below?
It does not. No,
It
it's
doesn't.
just he was wearing a coat, outer coat over it, and like the leather coat is scratched.
Does it look similar to the scratches on the house?
Do you go up there and check?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
would
guess
have
you would
followed
figure that you would
once
have followed, yeah.
once the explosion went off. I would have been behind her,
Yeah.
probably
Me
quite
too,
a few
me
steps, but I would have
Okay.
followed with my pistol out, with my 45 out.
All of you on the ridge, then, as you examine the clothing more closely, it does seem like there are 4 scratches in these several instances across his coat.
I look at Lottie, but I'm not still letting on to Tadeusz that means anything, but I'm making sure she noticed it, which I would think she would have.
She's mostly focused on the fact that this guy is bleeding out and he has all of our information. So she's looking frantically while trying to put pressure on this like terribly bleeding wound, wondering if anybody can help.
I can possibly
I
help.
can
I have a
try.
little first.
I look at Tadeusz.
Tadeusz, yeah,
I can try.
do it. Boss, can you help this guy? We can't
Roll
question him
first aid.
if he dies.
With a penalty die.
Yeah.
004. Hey.
Wow.
4.
Hoping
No,
for a 0
no.
on this one for 100.
That's the 3rd time we've rolled a 4,
Yeah, that's right.
and that's kind of
Like-
our Nat 4 is our thing. In the
Yeah,
other-
but first aid. 49 and I have 50.
Oh, you made it.
Wow, that's good. Okay. Okay.
49.
First aid rules, technically, the first aid needs to be administered within 1 hour of the wound, but because this is an ongoing wound, I'm going to treat it like it is within the hour. So you are able to bandage the wound, stop the bleeding, and you will keep him alive for the time being anyway. You're able to stabilize him as you can tell that he's very much in need of water and food, and but he's also terrified of you, much unlike the other guy that you came across. And you can set him up with a cup of tea and ask him anything.
First of all, I want to ask him why the hell is this forest full of guns and gunfiring people?
It's America. What do you
Crazy.
expect?
It is
Shit.
America.
I wonder
Lottie-
if communisms are better.
I've heard they're better.
You heard them.
I think Stan would like punch him a little bit for saying that.
Oh, okay.
Growing up in Poland, he doesn't buy any of that. He's
All
like,
right, yeah.
don't be stupid.
Yeah.
He's naive American.
Lottie rushes forward. Stop punching the guy that we just fixed. We have to talk to him.
He just
He
said
told the
communism
communists
is good.
Better
I
than
came from
USA.
communism. I barely survived it. My family was chased from Poland.
Yeah, I would punch him to the death.
Let's question him first. I'll search his pockets and I'll quietly fuming.
Okay. You search his pockets. You find, you find that he has no more rounds of ammunition upon him. You find a hunting knife. You find a map.
Hmm.
Is there a cross on the map?
Yeah. It's right next to a cabin.
Oh,
Guys, we gotta go.
The
Let's
cabin
tie him up and
is
leave
the
him in the
lake.
truck. Let's go.
no, let's just ask him how many people are
Yes.
there.
Just a
Yeah.
minute.
We can question him
minute.
while we go.
I'm not carrying him.
No, we'll put him in the truck.
In the truck. The three-seater truck. You'll squish him.
Yeah. We'll
We can
squish him in
stealthily-
between with 4 of us, and you 2 question him while I drive.
Okay, let's do it.
Is it far? This X, is it far cross?
If you're in the truck, no, It's actually pretty close now.
I think that we can take a walk.
Oh,
We're gonna make him
if
walk.
you, if you walk, it's gonna be a couple of hours.
Let's drive, but park far enough away they don't hear the truck. I'll go slow, and then we'll leave the truck far away, and we'll approach on foot. And can I punch him then, Lottie?
No.
Well, after you question him, and while we leave him in the truck alone, can I punch him?
No.
Come on.
Buddy,
We can't
you
leave him
owe
away.
her some good stories about your dreams. This little maid. Just save your ass. A good portion.
Stan
Hope you
is
have some.
like cross-armed, frustrated with not being able to punch this guy out. He doesn't
Mhm.
like the idea of leaving an enemy awake behind him.
Mhm,
But he drives and takes us close
But
to
hold
the
on.
cabin.
Let's ask. Maybe there are some people around in this area where he is camping. Why is he camping here? Where are we hiring?
He was
Jane
watching
is
the
not
road.
going
I think-
anywhere.
He was
think
watching the
he's-
road, right?
yeah.
And she
Or
looks at
he
the guy.
just hasn't made it back to wherever he was going because he's so injured. Maybe he passed out where that blood pool was.
He didn't seem passed out when he was shooting at you.
Yeah, I know, but he probably woke up, saw us buy his stuff. Maybe he went over there to have like a private moment. You know what I mean? In the woods.
Yeah, woke up and started shooting.
Yeah,
America is wild, bruh.
it is.
It's wild. This is the first. I start my mornings with a cup of coffee, by the way. About
Yeah.
coffee.
In America, shoot first, coffee later.
God damn it. Okay, you wanna question him while we are driving,
Yes.
not on the spot.
No. We got to move. If she's alone in the cabin and has been there for several days, not fed, not given water, she could be on the verge of death.
It's good you remembered that now after sleeping in the cabin.
I didn't sleep. You slept.
Mm. Now suddenly she is starving.
I had
Lottie
a
already
nightmare.
has this guy like over her shoulder and is like moving
Yeah.
towards the car.
Dragging him through the
Like,
woods.
and they're just bickering behind her.
Sam looks over and sees her dragging him through the woods and goes and helps and realizes he's being stupid.
As I'm walking, I just want to ask the guy. So, all of this that you've done aside, it seems like you've all met more resistance in the forest than you quite bargained for. Is that correct?
There was something in the woods moving slow, like eerie.
Mm-hmm.
I shot it 3 times, but it kept on moving.
Did it get you?
I think after it almost did.
And he references the torn coat.
But I kicked it off the ridge and shot it.
So it's close as they're like walking down off the ridge.
It was last night.
Oh, but it's probably not there now, is it?
Shot
He
it
looks down
3
the ridge.
times. That's the shots you heard.
Yeah. All right. Well, who's at the cabin?
The girl's there, and we left Dobbs there too.
Dobbs?
Dobbs, that's right.
What kind of weapon does he use?
He uses a pistol mostly.
Okay. Anyone else?
Not unless Harris got back. We split ways. Haven't seen him since the shootout.
Ah, I see. So if Harris got back, there's 2. There were only 3 of you to start?
No, the rest of them died by the shore.
Okay.
With the coppers.
You lying to me?
No, I wouldn't lie to you.
Do I think he's lying to me?
Roll psychology.
Okay. 57 over 45.
One spend luck or
Nope.
push. Okay.
We'll find out if he's lying soon enough.
Yeah. The
Okay,
hard
so
way.
I've asked all of these questions. I look back and forth between Tadeusz and Stan. Do we have more questions? Because I don't want to take him in the truck with us. We
I
need
don't
to be
have any
fighting
questions.
three-
Can I punch him now?
No, stop it. Get in the car, drive.
Okay. We can't take
I
him with
asked-
us, though.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Tadeusz,
Okay.
can you time up?
If what if he makes them know that we are coming?
That's why we need to tie him to a tree.
Yeah, we can tie him up, leave him here, and then he doesn't have anything that he can use to contact them. We took all his stuff.
Yo,
Yeah,
buddy, do
and
you
I
have a
took his
rope?
knife. He can't break free. We took all his stuff.
We just need to leave
What's
him
the
here.
name of that?
Name of what?
What's your name?
My name?
Yo.
Hold on. Nope. Eugene.
Eugene,
name's
do you
Eugene.
have a rope? I've spent my rope on a dynamite explosion.
You still have some of it. It wouldn't have blown the whole rope apart.
I don't got much rope, no.
Ah, shit.
Can we search the truck for rope?
Yeah. Go ahead, search for it.
11! Under
You find some rope.
25.
You
Oh,
find you find 80 feet of rope.
Okay. I tie him up
Yeah.
nicely.
We
And
use
keep
all of
Stan
it.
away.
It's like a rope mummy.
Okay, you tie him up to a tree.
Hold on.
Oh,
At this point,
no.
it is even.
He's gonna get eaten.
We are spending rope for this.
We can't take him with us and we can't leave him running. You want to
Yeah.
shoot him?
Ah, shit. All right.
See?
Yes,
Options.
makes sense.
Let's
But
drive.
Rope. Is there
You and your
any
rope.
another?
Get in the truck.
Okay, you tie him up with
Ropes?
some of the rope, but not all of it. You still have plenty of rope left, and you get into the truck. You following the map, you discover that you have to leave the main road and go off the trail onto a side path to get to the X marks the spot.
That's where we
So-
would leave the truck and walk from there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good. And so you park the truck, you leave it on the road, and you continue on the trail through the forest, seeing eventually a cabin. As you get closer, it seems as though the leaves around here have fallen to the ground in a yellowish hue.
Mm.
Lottie, please make a sanity roll.
Oh no.
Your turn.
Here we go.
I wondered where this was earlier. 65 over 50.
Oh no.
Take, go ahead and roll a d4.
Ooh, D4. Save my life. 2.
You take 2 points of sanity loss, realizing that you are basically walking through your dream.
Oh.
The forest is thick around you, the dim light where the trees appear to be twisted in pain, and the color of the undergrowth is unnaturally pale and sickly yellow.
You can notice her face drain of color, and she looks quite panicked. But looking back and forth between Tadeusz and Stan, she knows she will find no comfort from either of them, and trudges on.
Trudging on.
I'm looking at Lottie's face and taking out my block note. Did you remember some dream or something?
It's like a terrible sense of deja vu. I've been here before. There was slugs, and someone came up behind me and stabbed me in the back.
Stan rolls his eyes. Slugs again.
Slugs don't scare me as that much. All right. Yeah,
Wait
they
until
are
you
nasty,
start
but
seeing
they-
dead faces with eye holes and green goop.
Stan,
Okay.
you realize that the part of the forest that you're in reminds you of another forest you were in
Oh,
previously.
he's squinting hard.
You know that the direction you're headed is not to the cabin you previously saw, but you also realize that if you turn, you could find that cabin.
I don't turn. I use every ounce of willpower not to look because I'm afraid of what I'm going to see if I do.
Okay, good. Go ahead and roll power.
Ugh. It's not a good one for me. 37 over 35. And there goes 2 more luck points.
Okay.
The last
You
one.
will yourself not to look in the direction where you know that other cabin is. Instead, you walk along the yellow floor of the forest. The group of you see an old cabin standing in the middle of a clearing. The door is closed and there is no sign of movement. As you approach the clearing, you smell the scent of death. The stench comes from a blood-soaked tree. And you can see, impaled through the chest on a branch halfway up, is a man. Probably Christopher Dobbs. Please roll sanity, all of you.
Oh.
11 under
11.
30.
Nice.
80 over 50.
Go ahead and roll a d4.
3.
Oh, good.
3 points of sanity loss. Tadeusz?
So I got 008, and after that 37.
Okay. 37. What's your total sanity score? Probably like 57, 72,
5.
55. Okay. All right. So that's a success then. Great.
Is this considered from the same source?
This is a different source.
Okay.
The death of the gruesome death of a human.
Okay.
Okay. You can see this man has been stabbed through the chest with this tree branch, and it makes you wonder what that man said that you stole the truck from. Maybe it was a more gruesome tree stabbing than he let on when he said that tree branch poked through.
So it went like
Is he
through his
hanging?
back
This
and,
one's like through his back. Yeah.
and out the
Is
front.
he hanging?
Say it
Yeah.
again.
He's hanging on the tree?
Yep, he's hanging on a tree, pierced through. Yeah, that's right.
And does the exit wound look similar to the one that other guy had?
This guy's still on the tree. You can't tell. You'd have to pull him off to see if it's the same kind.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Is whatever
Green
was spiked
vines.
through him still there?
Yeah, it is. It is a tree branch still spiked through him.
Still, okay. A tree branch spiked into a tree itself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I
Wait.
think-
Yeah. Well, maybe I'm not
Okay.
understanding. So tree.
Yeah.
The branch comes from the tree. He's on the branch. And
Oh,
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
took him and just pinched
It's
him
almost
with the tree.
That's what
Either
it seems
something
like, yeah.
put him
Okay.
on the branch or the branch stabbed through him,
Right. Yeah.
like somehow moved. I think with my 11 roll, maybe it's something due to his upbringing in Poland. Seeing a bloody body is not affecting him like maybe the others
Mhm.
as much. Tadeusz rolled well too, but he would say, guys, we got to find the girl. We can come back to this later.
I'm not coming back to this.
Okay, deal.
Okay, so this is outside the cabin.
Outside the cabin.
Can I listen to hear if there's any movement inside?
Roll listen.
Stan's got his
23
weapon out by now.
Under
Too.
40.
23 under 40. You do hear the sound of wood clattering slightly, like somebody has closed something. Now, it sounded like you all were mostly whispering.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can hear the noise of something closing or of something moving, but you don't see anyone.
This is
There's
in
noise coming
cabin?
from the cabin. Mm-hmm.
I wanna crouch to a window of a cabin.
Okay.
Closer.
Yeah. You crouch to a window and you can peer inside. As you do, you can see that there is one man inside holding a shotgun. He seems to be looking feverishly around, specifically at the door.
Is there a back door?
There is no back door.
Is there a window back there?
Is there what? A window back
A
there?
window on the back of the house.
Window on the sides, window on the front, no on the back.
Lottie,
Uh,
you've got
is
the
there
shotgun.
anyone else there?
There's
No,
nobody else
no
inside.
girl.
No girl inside.
No girl. I guess we can. This is not the place for us.
Are
No,
there
girl,
rooms
guys.
we can't see?
We are
inside?
free.
Are there rooms you can't see?
Or areas?
Right. Yeah. No, sorry. There is. It's a single room lodging. So no.
Okay.
Can I
We gotta
look
question
around?
him.
What?
Go ahead, Lottie.
I was just going to look around the cabin, see if I can find small footprints or shoe prints or anything that would tell us if she was here, where'd she go?
Yeah. Roll spot hidden or track.
Nope. 67 over 55.
Okay. I'm going to crouch to the front of the door, making a trap with a lasso
Okay.
right in
Yep.
front of the door. Okay.
Mhm.
After that, I will go back a little bit, being ready, and you, Stan, can clap or telling him, "Hey, buddy!" And as soon as he tries to walk out, I will drag him in a trap. He will fall, and hopefully we can grapple him.
Okay.
Let's
you
do.
want him to come toward the door, not away from it. So I
What do you mean?
will.
There is one door. There is one
Yeah,
door.
there's one door. But there's no windows or doors in the back.
We don't need windows. As soon
I
as
know.
he goes out of the cabin, he will step in my trap, and I will drag him.
I will stand to the side of the door and open it, push it open while I'm standing to the side of it, making sure that Lottie is not anywhere in front of it when this happens. And I know Tadeusz is to the side holding the rope.
No. No, you should have called for him. You should have called for him.
I'm trying to get him to come out and look. If I call for him, he's just going to shoot.
Where? To the air? Okay. All right.
Yeah. Through the door. I would shoot through the door if I thought somebody was coming after me through it.
I don't care about the door.
Yeah, I don't either.
Eventually he will come out.
I want him
All
to
right.
come out and see what opened the door.
Yeah.
And then
All right.
you can grab him.
Okay.
You
Be ready.
slowly open the door, and immediately a shotgun fires. Stan, please roll luck.
You should have called for him or clap.
Oh no. 33
You-
over 20.
2 points of damage as the spray of shotgun pellets do make their way around or through the window and through the wall slightly to damage you. He yells out, "Get away! Get away!" And then he says, "Or give her back! Either one! Come on, get away!"
Oh, it took her.
Something took her.
Where did it go?
Roll persuade or charm.
5 under 60 for charm.
Nice.
Wow. Is this your first charming Call of Cthulhu player? Or
Yes.
character? Oh, excellent.
Nice.
That's excellent. Okay. An extreme success. He says, "I don't know. Who are you? They took her. I don't know. I just saw Dobbs dead. Is there anything out there with you? Come inside. Close the door."
I look around, see if there's anything outside with us.
Nothing outside.
Okay. There's nothing outside right now. We're just here to find Jane and get her back. Can you tell us anything about where she could be?
I don't know. I came back. I got here last night, and Dobbs was already dead on the tree. Tree stabbed through the heart. Did you see him out there?
He points out the body.
Yeah, we saw him. Okay.
I don't know
Yeah.
where they took her. I figured the sheriff's found our cabin or something. But why'd you come back then?
Sheriffs don't
Because-
usually impale people on trees. That's not their usual method of arrest.
But also there is not usual method of kidnapping to pick money and not return the hostage. This
Yeah,
is a
that was
bad
pretty
taste.
rude.
No,
Move it on.
not what I was gonna do. I was gonna do it. I was gonna give her back. Can't take care of a girl.
Do you still have those $10,000 though?
You see his eyes twitch, but he doesn't say yes. So the answer is yes, but he doesn't want to let you know that.
Which direction did his eyes twitch in?
His eyes twitch towards, there's like a small kitchenette area, a table, and there's a counter there, a couple of cabinets as well. They twitch towards the ground part of that counter area.
I'll go over there and open the cabinet and just kind of looking at him the whole time I'm walking over there, watching his
muscles
eyes.
tense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll psychology, see if you can figure out exactly where this is.
Oh boy, this is not going to be good.
You could roll spot hidden instead. Just search it on your
Marginally
own.
better. Oh no, 87 over 25. I think Stan is just like he's been shot twice, and he's
Yeah.
just like opening every cabinet. He's almost ransacking the place, and
Yeah.
until he finds it. Watching the guy's face because he's waiting for his face to like show him that he finally found the right place.
Yeah. One of the cabinets easily enough gets a slight reaction out of him, but he doesn't say anything or do anything about it. He just says,
You don't need to be over there. Don't need to be doing anything over there.
and he just seems to like, trying to distract you. It's not readily visible in any of those, but you do discover a small hole that has been cut out of a plank of wood inside one of the cabinets that can lift up into a small trap door.
Okay. Not big enough for a person to fit through.
He-
Just
No.
he shoved it through. So I'll
Yeah,
reach
so
in
Is
and
he holding?
pull it out.
Is he holding the rifle?
Shotgun. I think, you didn't take it away. You're right. He does have it upon his lap, but he's not ready to shoot anyone else.
I'm paying close attention to this shotgun, and also I would rather try
To grab it.
to come closer to him a little
Okay.
bit while he is paying attention at Stan.
Yeah.
Looking
Yeah.
for the money. I wanna come closer to the guy paying attention to this shotgun.
Okay. Paying close attention to him as he gets close, or as you get closer and closer. He doesn't arm himself, like he's not ready to fire on you. But you are prepared in case he does. You also get close enough that you could take away his shotgun if you want. He does seem like he's in slightly crazed state, so you don't know if he'll lash out, but you could do so.
Yeah, I will try.
Okay.
Can I help? Can I
Sure.
move forward and distract and kind of to ask him some more questions as I see what Tadeusz is trying to do?
Yep. You
But
can
he's paying attention at Stan.
paying attention to Stan, being distracted by
Oh.
Lottie. This makes it easy for Tadeusz to grab the rifle. No roll required.
Nice.
Or a shotgun.
All right. What is his reaction after like?
As you slip the gun off of his lap, he says,
That's merely protection. They're gonna come back, I saw them. They were yellow and green, and they were terrible. They were coming for me. They were telling me to follow them.
Oh, really? You guys
Stan,
drink
like
so-
that
too
piques
much
Stan's interest.
drag metals in the water.
That's where they're going. That's where they said to go. Find them in the water. Find them. Sink down to the deep. See him. The yellow.
Did the girl go willingly?
I don't know. I didn't see her.
Why didn't
But which
she return
direction?
her? Why didn't you return her at the original meeting?
We thought that if we had her with us, they'd just shoot us, take us down right there. We had
Left
to.
her here.
We were gonna let her go. Really, we were.
Okay, we need to go find the water. That's where
Yeah.
the girl would have gone.
Yeah. Do we bring him with us?
Where?
Or do we... I don't want to leave him behind us. I don't trust this guy.
Tie him up.
Okay. Do we have more rope?
Yeah. Found a lot in the truck.
Oh, and they
on,
would have had
guy.
her tied up too, right?
Ropes
And she's
don't-
gone, so
Don't
there's rope.
grow on trees.
Not in this
We
game.
don't have time for this. You don't have
But they-
time for this.
Whatever we have to do, we'll tie him up with the sheets from the bed. Whatever
Yeah.
is there that we'll use to tie him up.
Okay.
We can't bring him with us.
Okay,
This is a
but
liability.
still, hold on. There is one unsolved thing. I want to persuade him to give me money back.
I took the bag. I found the bag of money, right?
Yeah, you did.
Is it full of money?
It is full of money.
Here you go, boss.
We won Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, if money's all you care for, you can leave right now.
Yeah, you got it. You got the
Except
payday.
we don't have an ending to your book.
Oh, right.
You just need to
Okay.
write
Lottie
them.
wanted some more books.
Yeah.
I gotta go write the
Alright.
ending.
Okay.
Lottie will run outside and try and locate the lake,
Okay.
looking at terrain or climbing another tree. Or
Tracks through the leaves.
I already failed at that.
Yeah.
Somebody else could try.
Well, now that we know what we're looking for a bunch of these creepy things that I saw in my dream and the girl. Do we notice anything new, having new information?
Yeah. You see in the distance a clearing that opens up. The clearing has within it several makeshift cabins that look recent, new, like a construction site. And you can see from there that there is in fact a body of water on the other side, far into the clearing.
One last thing while we were tying him up, can we have checked him for more ammunition for the shotgun that Tadeusz now has?
I want a
Sure.
gun. I
Yeah.
want to search for a gun, maybe.
You have the shotgun that you took off him.
It is too heavy. This way
Does he have a pistol on him too? Any other weapons in the shack?
There's a pistol, 24 rounds for the shotgun, 12 gauge, 4d6 on a hit, and then it's lessens by half for every 10 yards beyond that. And then you find a handgun. There's just a revolver, 6-shot.
Okay.
I want to take a revolver.
All right,
And
then
I
I'll
can
take
give you a
the
shotgun.
I'll take the shotgun. And I'll be carrying the shotgun then and holster my 45
Okay,
for now.
got it.
All
right. Making your way towards the clearing, you can cross it if you choose. Plenty of cabins worth investigating, perhaps, but probably not for our time today. You can see the lake off in the distance, and you can approach.
Yes.
Okay.
As stealthily as possible.
You are coming across the clearing, so if you want to move stealthily, that's fine. You'll have to move into the woods, though.
Lottie's not moving stealthily. She's just trying to find the girl.
You're going straight through. Then
Yeah.
I'm with Lottie. I'm not letting anybody go by themselves.
Okay, got it. You make your way towards the lake as quickly, straight line as you can. And as you get close, you can see that there are 5 poles about 5 meters from the shore of the lake. They are standing up about 3 meters tall. But more importantly, you see that tied to each of these poles is a human.
Each of these humans has been stabbed through their chest with what initially looks to be like a tree branch, but upon second sight looks more like a metallic spike. They've been pierced from the back to the front on these poles.
Are they in the water?
No, they're about five meters away from the water.
5 meters on the bench.
Yep,
On
that's
the
right.
shore.
They all
Sure.
appear to be dead already.
As you get closer, you can see that they are slightly twitching. Noticing you approach, they say, "Kill us, please. Remove the spines. Please, kill us." I need a sanity roll for seeing them and a sanity roll for realizing that they are in fact alive.
Yeah, it deserves sanity roll.
24 on the first one. Oh, and a 96 on the second. My current sanity is 45. So
Okay.
that's a fumble.
You'll take 1 from the first and 4 on the second. Still, both of those are technically different instances, so you don't enter a bout of madness.
I take,
Okay.
or I missed on the first 57 over 35, but I made the second 33 under 35.
Okay, missed on the first, you'll take a D6, and for the second one, you'll only take 1.
3.
And the way that sanity rolls work, if you succeed, sometimes you take no damage, sometimes you just take less damage. If you fail, you'll take more, obviously. And if you fumble, you'll take the full amount that's possible. So
How did Tadeusz do?
how did Tadeusz do?
First 13, second 74.
So a success and then a failure, it sounds like. So that'll be 1 sanity from the first, and then a D4 for the second.
Also 1.
Okay, excellent.
So
You hear
took
them
two-
as you're closer. It seems like they're just chattering, almost in a mind broken state. One of them is almost narrating. They took us in the night.
Where
from
are
our
they?
camp." You try to break through and talk to him.
These are the artists.
These are the artists.
Oh, do they have coffee?
One of them has a camper's cup, an aluminum camper's cup attached to his waist. There is barely any
God.
coffee left in it.
Guys,
I was
too
so
bad.
much. Had so much hope.
Yeah.
That's right.
For 3
I have
meters,
a
they're
question.
only
What's your
too
question?
high above.
What is the percentage that you have to lose of your?
1/5 of your sanity.
I'm at 40 and I was at 50. So
Okay.
is
1/5?
yeah, that's 20. Like 10 of 50 is 20%, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is good. This is in fact poetic. The lake.
So what? A lot is
The lake.
losing it?
You knew that there was a lake of import in this forest, this woods, and you were thinking about what lake could possibly be around. You couldn't, perhaps because you blocked it out of your memory. Long ago, you had dreams about a lake, and you knew that it was Somerset Lake, but you blacked it out because it seemed like something was calling to you from the deep. You remember seeing the creature as it flowed to and fro easily beneath the water, trapped, it seemed, for ages upon ages. It called out to you while you were studying, and the last time you were in this area, and you almost succumbed then. And so you blacked out your memory, but always you've been drawn to bodies of water ever since. And now here, standing at the edge of the lake with these dead artists, or should be dead artists, on poles beside you, you look into the depths, and you can see the bright yellow eye glowing beneath the deep. Please make a power roll.
I think this would apply to me as well, EJ, because I'm down
This is also
9 of 35.
Oh, that's 9. Wow. Okay. Yeah. This is also a part of Lottie's fumble from her lake search earlier.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not as intense for you, but you can go ahead and roll a. I think with yours is just about a madness for this, or an indefinite insanity. Go ahead and first, Lottie, what did you get?
71 over 50.
Okay.
We are at the bench of a lake or
That's
a
right.
river.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
there is 5 meters on that. There is some columns, 3-meter
Posts.
height.
That's right. Yep.
And there are almost dead bodies.
Yep. That's right.
Hanging on spikes.
Correct.
Metal.
Yep.
Metal spikes.
That's correct.
And right now, Lottie also noticed some yellow eyes inside the lake.
Mm-hmm. At least
Inside
she
the lake.
sees them, but you don't necessarily see them. Lottie, you stand at the bank of the lake.
My whole attention is on those artists hanging on there.
Mm-hmm. I believe that for sure. Tadush, you hear the soft splash of water, but you don't realize what's happening as Lottie begins to make their way into the water.
Am I able to grab her because of my
You're entering into
situation?
madness right now also. Go ahead and roll a d10.
7.
7. Okay. You find yourself, you can see these dead individuals, and you can see I'll let you choose. Phobia or mania? Fear or delight?
I think phobia.
Okay. Yeah. You also, everything that you've seen is woods, trees, death surrounding you on all sides, but the water is probably safe. You run after Lottie, but not to get her. You run to swim as far away from the woods as you can to get into the middle of the lake. Lottie,
My lasso.
go ahead, Tadush. Roll a throw to see if you can lasso with your penalty die for being exhausted this day. And Lottie, you decide that it is best to swim beneath the lake to finally find what lies below.
36 and 001. If only I. What did I roll?
Throw.
Oh, I failed.
Do you want to spend luck?
So my throw is 20, and I rolled how
36.
was it?
So you'd have to spend
36,
36.
16 luck. Yes.
Okay, you spend luck. You lasso Stan as he's running into the lake. Lottie, you are diving below. Please roll swim.
Whoa. 63 over 20.
63 over 20. Okay. You find yourself trying to swim down further and further, but you are unable to get all the way to the bottom. Fortunately for you, you can see something reaching up to meet you, to assist you.
I knew it was calling to me.
You can see the large, long, what looks to be like a tentacle of sorts, almost like an octopus tentacle, stretching upward. And it turns its tentacle face or head up, and you can see there's a glowing yellow orb. Seems to be an eye. It looks at you for a moment, and then slowly begins to caress around you to scoop you deeper. If you would like to resist, please roll power.
Okay. $77 over 50.
You rally against yourself for a moment. This isn't what you want. Or maybe it is. You're not really sure. But in this moment, you can decide how this actually plays out. But I'd like to offer that in this moment, finally, all of the stories that Tadush has written over the years can really come true for you. You can experience everything you've been looking for in those stories and fables. What do you do? What do you think? How do you feel? What happens?
All I see is a tentacle with a eye in it.
Eye, yellow eye. Yep. It's attached to something.
It's attached to something. I failed
Can I
power
try?
twice.
To dive deep into the water.
You can, yeah. Tadushi, you can see that Lottie is down there. You want to dive? Go ahead and roll swim.
Yeah.
Stand your
most-
left foot on the shore. Go on, Lottie.
She's most curious about the eye. Does it look like it's attached to the tentacle, or is it something being offered to me?
It is attached. Yeah,
Okay.
Again with a disadvantage, right?
that's right. Yeah, I know that. Oh, that was terrible for you, wasn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes! 16 and 006.
Wow.
Fire!
Oh, wow.
You swim beneath the surface of the water, and you can see Lottie is being grasped by an octopus-like tentacle. But you can also see what it's attached to, a massive slug that is 3 times the size of a house, 60 feet long, 40 feet tall, and you can see that it has many of these tentacles. It also has, stretching from its back, spikes that seem to be metal as it is slowly moving across the surface of the lake. You see several other tentacles, each with yellow eyes, reaching out to anybody who would welcome. You grab hold of Lottie. Would you like to try to pull her back to shore?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Please roll strength or fight brawl. Hard success on strength, regular success on fight brawl.
You have to succeed by more on strength than fight brawl.
Thanks.
So it really
I have
just
strength.
yeah, it
45
depends
and
on which
fight
one's
brawl
better.
18. 27.
Oh! Now you won Cthulhu.
27. Okay. So that makes it a regular success or a hard success for you?
27.
I think that it is
Probably
regular.
hard. What's your strength number? The second number is
50.
hard success. The third number
25.
is
No, 25, and I rolled 27.
okay.
You want to
so
spend luck?
Yes! Yes!
Okay. Would you like to spend enough luck to make this a regular success, a hard success, or an extreme success?
The middle one.
Middle one, hard success. Okay, so from 25 down, you're going to get to 12. So that'll be, you'll have to spend 15 points of luck.
Wait,
What's the score?
No. I think his
And it
score
only
is
two.
higher than that.
I thought 25 was the hard success.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, 25 is the hard success. I see,
Yeah.
I see. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so then only 2 points of luck. My mistake. Okay, let's see here.
39 now. Not a lot.
While you're
grab
determining
hold-
that,
Uh-huh.
while they're grappling down there, does Stan make it back up to above the water?
Yep, you're pulled back to the shore. Yeah.
And do I have the rope? Did he let go of it?
You do. Go ahead and roll another d10, though. Let's see how long this bout of madness is lasting for you.
1.
Okay. You come to, as soon as you're up on the shore, you realize what's happened, that you were led astray, that your mind was broken, and that your friends are in need of assistance.
2 things real quick, and then I'll give it back to you for what's happening with them. The dynamite would normally, I would think they would have treated wicks.
With wax.
Yeah, that can
Yeah.
burn underwater.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I am finding a rock, and I am tying all of my remaining 7 sticks of dynamite to the rock
Mm-hmm.
and twisting together the wicks so that I can light them once.
Okay. You do this. You tie all the dynamite to a series of rocks, and you tie all the wicks together. Perfect. You are ready to throw it. Lottie, do you want to... You feel something tugging you in both directions. The yellow eye, but you can hear the voice of Tadush as he gurgles water from behind you. What do
Well
you choose
done.
to do?
I think she's in a sort of
Fugue state.
haze.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she failed her swimming roll, so she's not strong in the water.
Right.
She failed 2 power whirls, so she was just kind of letting whatever was. She'd kind of like just succumbed to whatever was going to happen.
Yeah.
So I don't think she's resisting, but I don't think
Right.
I don't think she's fighting for any one particular
Okay.
thing.
Good.
She had just given herself up, and so I think she's just like, whatever's
Yeah.
going to happen is going to happen.
Excellent. In that case, Tadeusz, you grab hold of Lottie and you're able to wrench her from the tentacle that was nearly wrapped entirely around her. You pull her to the surface of the water, and both of you can inhale oxygen once again. And you see your friends up above and break the surface.
As soon as I see them break the surface, I light the wick and chuck it like over them into as far as I can get it toward the middle of this, or as deep as I can. I don't know. You
Right.
said it was pretty big, so
It is pretty
toward
big, yeah.
where I saw whatever I saw down there when
Yeah.
I was going in.
Okay, excellent. You toss the dynamite in, and 15 seconds later, you see a massive explosion. Water shoots up like a geyser as your friends are pulled to shore, and you can see the glow of yellow seems to recede into the darkness of the murky lake.
No.
I run over and pull
No.
them out of the water.
But it
One
was
of the
calling for me. Now it's gone.
I shake her a little bit. It was not good.
You are surprisingly naive, Lottie.
You okay, boss?
Yeah, I guess so. Whew. Shit, it was close. I
Yeah,
don't
it
think
was.
that we are going after that explosion. Do you think we can still find the girl?
I'm
I have
pretty
an
sure
ending for a book. Pretty
It
good
may have.
one.
I think it may have ate the girl.
you, as you say these words, one of the artists that's impaled says,
They took her. They took her. Sacrifice. Waiting for the moon.
you can see their head slowly turn. And as it does, you can see they're looking in the direction of the tree line, but there's a small, hardly beaten path at the end of which is a cabin that looks very similar to Stan's dream.
Oh. Guys, we have to go there.
That's where she is.
I think so.
Finding your way to the cabin, nothing assails you as you approach. But opening the
I guess-
doors... Yes?
I guess my revolver is no use now.
Oh, because of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And probably a shotgun is also. And Lottie is also.
I would have dropped my shotgun, I think, when I went into the water, because you said I went in and tried to swim. Can't swim
Right.
while I'm holding a shotgun. So I thought, I
Sure.
assumed I dropped it on the beach.
Mhm.
Or in the water.
Maybe,
Water,
but we were 5 meters away from the water
yeah, it's pretty
um,
far.
Not much.
at first. So
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's 20 feet, it's like, that's far enough, I think. But
yeah, I
Um,
think my 45 is probably, at least the ammunition in it might be bad. But I could take time to empty it and reload it on the way to the cabin.
okay, that's fine.
And I would give Lottie the shotgun if hers went in with her.
Okay. Yeah. You can arm yourselves as you approach. As you open the cabin doors, you can see strange coffins inside. They seem to glow a strange blue energy. And you can hear muffled whimpering coming from within one of them.
Lottie, cover me,
Got it.
and I'll go over and I'll stand to the side, whichever is the opposite side that it opens from. So I'm
Mhm.
opening it toward me. and I will pull it open.
You see a girl, 16 years of age, hands bound, gagged, and feet bound as well. She seems fearful.
I reach in and grab her by the shoulder, like somewhere, like her dress or whatever she's wearing, coat by the shoulder, and pull her out. And then kind of push her toward the two of them.
I'm hiding my ass somewhere. I don't know even if Stan can find me.
When I look back to hand her to Lottie and to Douche, I see only Lottie.
Yeah. I'm assuming this matches Jane's description, and Lottie will take care of her. Does she seem injured?
She does not seem injured. No.
Do we see anyone else?
If you open up more coffins, you might. There are about 10 coffins in here.
But we don't hear anything coming from them.
Correct.
So I thought that you don't like this shack, right?
I don't like the shack. I'm like on
You
the
still
verge of
have
freaking out. I
one
am.
dynamite, despite telling me you didn't have any.
I used it all to save you
Oh?
guys.
All right.
I specifically said I tie all of my remaining
All of them.
dynamite, which I now regret. But
we still have matches.
we have matches, and this place is wood. And Stan would be like freaking out at this point a little bit. He'd be like, "This is the shack. I saw the creepy people with the green and the eye hole missing. We got the girl. We burn the shack. We leave.
We got the money.
We got the money.
Yeah, run away. Run, Forrest!
I back out of the building and kind of make sure everybody is like going out with me, close the door, and find something to light on fire and burn this house down.
Our matches are no use too.
Yeah, because your book of matches was in the river.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Trained in, living as you do, you would be able to start a quick fire with some wood or some flint and tinder. As you start a stick on fire, you throw it to the porch of the cabin and leave it to burn the rest of what remains inside. As you make your way out of the forest, badly wounded mentally, if not physically, you find eventually the road, the truck you left behind, and you can begin to drive back, comforting Jane on the way, until you run into the search party, still looking for her. As you get back to her father, he welcomes her with open arms. She sobs in his hug, in his embrace, and you're all paid well, but you don't know if it was worth it.
I bet another $10,000. In total, it is 20.
Yeah,
Worth it.
We didn't tell anybody we found the money.
That's right.
No. Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
We better get good Christmas bonuses to douche.
Oh yes.
I got shot twice.
Any epilogues for your character? Anything that you say, do, or otherwise?
Lottie, let's start with you.
Lottie would let the search party know about the artists on the pegs and to either go help them or go put them out of their suffering. But not knowing anything about medicine and having already failed a first aid attempt, she wouldn't know anything about how to help them, but she wants someone to know that they're there in case some of them could be saved. She would return Jane to Jane's father. And then she would spend the next several days journaling everything that she had experienced. Still in this kind of frantic state of what she had experienced, knowing that it was all real. She would want to write everything down and record it all and see if there's anything. She would spend time in the library researching anything that she could possibly find out about what this being could have been and what it meant. And then, just recovering from all of her sanity loss, if that's possible.
Let's save Alex. Let's save Tadeusz for last. No? You're the leader, though.
All right.
I think we should save you for last. Stan would have a new respect or a new way of look. Not that he didn't respect Lottie in the first place, but he thought she was a little off in believing all this stuff. But now, after seeing what he has seen in the dream and then it coming true and whatever that was in the water, he definitely is starting to believe more what she believes, and maybe irrationally so a little bit, because he had several sanity experiences throughout this, not to mention getting shot twice, but the mental stuff is what's torturing him coming out of this. And he's he has no outlet for it. He's just a grunt. He's muscle. He doesn't know how to get his feelings out at all. He doesn't write like these guys do or journal. So he's just a little tortured about it. Probably continues to have nightmares long after this. Alex, what is Tadeusz feeling after this?
Tadeusz decides to retire from writing books, but he wants to tell Lottie that she was inspiration for all of his books, and all of the stories are inside of her. So while she is keeping writing the journaling, the stories, he can guide her a little bit, put her in the right direction to make it happen, so she can write the stories for herself. He doesn't want to do that. He has a lot of money.
Looks like I'm out of a job. Lottie, do you need a driver?
As a matter of fact, I do.
I prefer to work for outstanding best-selling authors, and I think you're the next one up.
Well, thank you.
Tadeusz was never the best-selling author.
But Lottie has so much faith in you.
Yeah.
This is the faith in you. This is what I was just channeling it.
Awesome.
And thus ends your quest.
We all lived.
Really?
We all lived. I almost didn't.
I know. That was so close. And Alex had to roll multiple rolls.
With disadvantage.
Yeah. With a penalty die in order to save you. And he did it.
Yeah.
As hard as we both tried to die, Tadeusz saved us.
Yeah.
or the others say, like you saved Stan, Lottie saved Stan in the woods. Who knows what was going to happen to him if he didn't get stopped.
Out of all people, I would never think that it would be him.
Tadeusz was the least aware of everything happening, and nothing really bad happened to him the whole time.
Yeah, that's right.
Like he
still
walked
thinks
through that whole thing almost unscathed.
Yeah.
He's not a good author for horror stories. He doesn't believe in these mysteries and
No.
mystics. He still thinks that all of these dreams were bullshit.
He was basically Lottie's ghostwriter the whole time. He was.
Yeah.
He doesn't believe in that.
Well, great job. Well done. Plenty more things that, of course, we could talk about or debrief, or questions that you could ask that I could answer possibly. But otherwise, that's the end for the scenario for us today.
I want to know, was Jane corrupted in any way?
No. Not yet.
Okay.
She had
Alright.
bad dreams, but she wasn't corrupted.
What about the guy that was stabbed through that we found?
He was
geologist.
Yeah, he was turned into one of those creatures that you saw in your dream, the zombie-like people, whom you never actually came across any one of them. There are some that you could have come across.
Were
but
they in the
situations-
coffins?
They were in some of the coffins, yeah.
That's why I burned it.
Yeah, and they were they were Civil War AWOL. They went
Deserters.
Deserters, yeah.
Yeah.
So they were Civil War guys who came to the lake, 60 years prior, and were turned and became servants of the creature in the lake within the sort of zombie state. So yeah, that guy was in the process of turning.
You might not be able to answer
Did-
this one, but did the
Stem
dynamite
Steel.
destroy the creature in the lake?
It did not. It did
I
not.
didn't.
Ah, shit.
I didn't
Yeah.
think so. Did it hurt it at least?
It hurt it, yeah.
Cut off a couple of tentacles.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
We should have just salted the lake.
Yeah.
It's a
The
slug.
lake is unusable.
Mhm. Yeah, you did great. Any other questions or thoughts?
We will end the stream and wait a little bit so the recording will process.
Okay,
You'll get a notification in a couple seconds that it's uploaded.
got it.
Awesome, guys. Thank you for doing this, EJ. Thank you for joining us,
pleasure.
Lauren.